And we are live. Welcome back to our YouTube Carnivore Q&A live stream. We're broadcasting on multiple channels, but if you're here on my channel, welcome, welcome. We would all love to know in the live chat where you all are located, where are you connecting from? We're going to jump right into the Q&A. So how to ask questions and get answers, it's on the screen, but basically just put 3 capital Qs of what you'd like to ask and get help on in the live chat box, and we will go in order. And as always, anybody who does send super chats in to any of our channels and pages, we will prioritize. Okay. I did want to introduce Janelle. She's with me right here, sitting next to me. She's one of my best friends. I actually met her through the carnivore community. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, I'm Janelle. Nice to see all of you here on live.
So how long were you vegan and how far into carnivore are you now?
I was vegan for 8 years and I'm about today's day 50 of 90% carnivore.
Day 50. Yay, congrats. That's awesome. So let's jump into the questions. Todd, if you see any, you can feel free to put it on the screen so we can get started. Hi, James. Have you tried the goat butter yet? James, I know you harp on the goat butter. I cannot find goat butter. I don't know why. Am I looking in the wrong spot? Obviously, I prefer raw, unpasteurized goat butter. So let me know what your favorite brand is. I'll put it up on the screen again, and then I promise I'll try my best to go find it. But no. Has anyone here tried goat butter?
I just tried goat yogurt last weekend. So,
and how was it?
All right. I mean, yeah, it was okay. It wasn't bad. I mean, it had a little bit of extra different flavor. Like you could tell it's not from milk, but it was okay.
Nice. Awesome. Next question. Let's keep going.
We don't have one yet.
Yeah.
So
wow. Okay.
We're gonna have to chit chat until they keep coming in because they're rolling in slowly.
I see one.
It just popped in.
Yeah. So yeah, today we can't go like my preferred time, which is like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. So today I do have a time limit just because I'm with family. So I do want to be efficient and answer as many of your guys' questions as possible. Okay, I see a lot coming in. Kerrygold is my favorite from Princeton. And any other butter recommendations? Let's do a rapid fire. All of us share our favorite butter brands. Mine is Vital Farms.
New Zeal Creamery, I think it might be called. That's my favorite butter.
That one.
Dr. Phil?
I'm doing the grass-fed Costco butter.
Yum. Raymond?
The butter that I do is from Costco. Is that the same one that you have? The Kirkland brand?
The Kirkland brand.
Grass-fed.
I think that's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that, or I really like the. We have an Amish community just down the road that turns their own butter. I really like their stuff.
The best.
Those are cool. The one in the roll, right?
Yeah,
that big little log thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
Exactly. Those are my favorite.
I can't find those.
Nice. Rochelle?
Yeah, my favorite is definitely Kerrygold's. Hands down, my favorite.
Lindy?
Well, I'm in Australia. I use West Gold. It's from Tasmania and grass-fed as well. It's my favorite.
I'm in Holland, and I actually have a farmer close by who makes their own raw butter. So
Yum! Yum! Lucky.
Very delicious. Yeah. The best.
Okay, let's keep going. From Keith. Hi, Keith. I'm having a colonoscopy next week. Should I be concerned about the prep day? If you don't mind, Dr. Phil.
Well, Keith, I'm joining you. I'm having a colonoscopy the 1st of November, so I'm not worried about it at all. I'm going to eat probably 3 meals the day before my prep starts. I'll fast on my prep day and then have my colonoscopy the next day, and then have a good meal once I've recovered from the goofy medicine they give you to put you down.
Wait, are you not taking that whatever thing that you have to flush out with? solution? Dr.
I'm
Phil?
sorry.
Are you taking that? I think there's a pre-prep, right, to actually take.
Yeah, you do the prep the day before.
Okay,
So
and there's sugar in that. Is that right?
mine doesn't have sugar in it. So
Cool.
I'm doing Miralax and Dulcolax tablets prep. There's no sugar in it. And I just do it in water. Some people do it in Gatorade and where they do the Go Lightly, but I don't do any sugar at all in my prep.
Good.
So you can do it without sugar.
Still nasty though. Sorry.
Well, of course.
It's the price you pay.
I know.
Yeah.
It's only one day of your life
Next.
every 10 years.
Betty says, my husband and I are trying the carnivore diet for the second time. Yay, good luck. We do need a good support team. Hey, right here. You have the best support team right here. Each and every one of these carnivores right here have overcome so many struggles, so many health concerns. They've healed so much, and they're so very knowledgeable. So enjoy this live stream. It's going to be jam-packed with so much information and experience. And hopefully you get some value in this video, even in the playback if you're watching. Okay.
Well, for sure. And look in the description link, and there's a link to the Steak and Butter Gang in there as well.
Yeah, that's the place to be.
And or you can even make it a challenge for you, just following until the next live stream, which we apparently going to have one every week, unless something happens.
Thank you, Raymond, for that. Yeah, this is our, Todd, third or fourth in a row now.
This is our fourth.
Awesome. It honestly just feels like hanging out with my friends. It doesn't feel, difficult or taxing at all. I look forward to these so much. So this is only our fourth in a row, but we do intend on doing it every single Friday night. So block out your Friday nights. Instead of watching Netflix, watch us so that you can stay on track, ask questions, and keep learning. So thank you, Betty, and keep us posted.
Thank you.
Lively Lioness, hello. How do I increase my stomach acid? I have fat malabsorption, floating stools, and mucus in my stools. Stomach acid, fat malabsorption, floating stools. I wonder if this person used to be vegan, because it sounds like some serious digestive issues that he or she is going through. Todd, what's that?
Yeah, those optimal aminos, when me and Raymond were doing those greatly increased my stomach acid. It, like my digestion got 3 times as strong in just about, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks. These things are incredible.
Yeah. So a couple of things on that. You can use certain aids like betaine hydrochloride, but be aware if that's not your issue, which I did betaine hydrochloride just to see recently, and I started having bad heartburns. So obviously, that may not be the issue. So if you checked with that, that's a good helper, but you may not need it later on. The best thing for stomach acid, in my opinion, is eating a lot of protein.
A lot of red meat, actually.
A lot of red. Thank you.
It's very good for stomach acids. Yeah, but then, you do need to get used to the fat intake.
Right.
Yeah, and that takes time. I would also encourage you not to drink water or anything 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after your meal, so you're not diluting your stomach acid. You might even need to do 60 minutes before, but I would love to hear what Phil has to say about that too.
Well, first off, I want to say this person has 2 different issues, right? So let's acknowledge that. One is the stomach acid, which you really need stomach acid to start the digestive process of your proteins. And you need good bile production to get the fat absorption, because the floating stools, mucus, that's all signs that you aren't producing adequate amount of bile salts to emulsify your fat in what you're eating, and then to start breaking it down. So a lot of people in the community use lipase, which is available over the counter, which is a fat enzyme that is normally made by the pancreas. And they start out with leaner cuts of meat initially, and then increase the fat in a measured way to kind of train your body with smaller meals more frequently to let your bile duct dilate, and if you have a gallbladder, to let your gallbladder heal. Because normally it's either you've had your gallbladder out or you have an ill gallbladder, and they will improve either reason over time, but you have to work your way up to it. But lipase or ox bile are two good things that can help you in that transition. But I really recommend the straight lipase because it's something you can easily use for a short time. And then as your body kicks in and starts producing more lipase, which it will, as you increase the fat, your body will get used to it and it'll be more physiologic, and you can cut back on the lipase you're taking by mouth.
Thank you, Dr. Phil. Thank you, guys. This is from Nav. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, I remember you. You were here last week too. Thank you for coming back. Vitamin D is 23.8. I'm baffled because I spent 45 minutes to 1 hour outside in summer from June to August, almost every day shirtless. A bit in September and not so much in October. 5 months, mostly lion diet. Advice. Baffled as in, are you saying you're surprised that it's so low? I'm guessing 23 is like on the lower end then, right?
That's low.
That is low? Okay.
Yeah, you'd like your vitamin D level to be 40 or above, and the higher the better, up to, you really don't need it to be higher than about 80, but some people say 100 is great, but I don't like to push because it's a fat soluble vitamin, levels of above 80. But it takes a while. If your body has not been used to doing production of vitamin D, sometimes you need to supplement for a while. And my vitamin D was down to 6, which is the lowest I've ever seen. And I still take vitamin D supplements. And my strategy is going to be at 18 months carnivore, I'm going to get a blood level on the 5,000 units a day I take, which is 125 milligrams. And then I'm going to cut it down to 1,000 international units a day for 6 months, recheck my levels. And then if they're still good, I'm going to discontinue them. It looks like you need to fill your tank with some more vitamin E while your body's getting used to the sunshine. Sunshine also depends on what latitude you live on. I live in Florida, so I get more direct rays coming down. If you live in Seattle, the rays are more tangential to the atmosphere and don't have as much photon energy in it, so you get less production of vitamin D the farther north or the farther south you live. And so don't be afraid to take extra vitamin D until you get your levels up over 40.
What about K2, Dr. Phil? Isn't that the precursor?
About what?
K2, isn't that the precursor?
No, K2 is a K vitamin, and you need K2 with vitamin D in order to properly use your calcium. So it has to do with calcium metabolism. And obviously he's going out without his shirt on, so I take it he's a guy. I can't always assume that these days, but K2, a lot of people deficient in vitamin D, and D3 is what I'm talking about with the supplement, do benefit from taking K2 for the short term. But if you've been carnivore 6 months or longer and you're eating fish and eggs, you probably don't need the K2 anymore.
Yeah.
So I think people probably take a lot of unnecessary K2. And certainly I'm not a big fan of taking large doses of vitamin A, as you know, Rochelle.
Yes, I do.
Because people get toxic on vitamin A a lot faster than vitamin D.
What about the depth of melanin that one has in their skin? That can also affect their ability to synthesize vitamin D, can't it? Like if they have darker skin?
Theoretically, but it's probably so trivial compared to the latitude. I'm sorry, it's not longitude, it's latitude. The latitude question and the time of exposure that you have. So, but if you're tanked on vitamin D, and you're just very low, it takes a long time to tank your body back up with vitamin D. And we used to tell people, gee, you take 200 international units a day. Back in the 70s, that's what we used to recommend people take. And now I recommend 5,000 units a day. So it's like we are so deficient as a society now in vitamin D. And until you get your body tanked up, it's hard to maintain that homeostasis if you have a big deficit to fill up.
Dr. Phil, what is your vitamin D now, or the last time that you checked?
It was in the about 72, I believe, was my number.
Wow, that's really high. That's
Wow,
awesome.
Yeah.
you really got it high.
But
Yeah.
six was terrible.
Mine was 12 when I was vegan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's terrible too.
It
Yeah,
is terrible. Yeah.
yeah, and you get so many diseases from vitamin D deficiency. You get fibromyalgia, you get IBS, you get mental health issues. I mean,
Mm.
and the thing with the K2, the reason that's an interest is if you're taking calcium supplements and you're deficient in vitamin D and K2, that calcium you're taking is not going to your skeleton. It's actually going to your arteries. And that's why a lot of people in the Western culture have high CAC scores, because they're taking that calcium and it's not going to the bony matrix, it's going to the arterial matrix, mainly in your coronaries. So you really have to get tanked up. So I would still take NAV. I would still take supplements until you get up over the 40 level.
Perfect. Keep us posted, Nav. Thank you. Danny. Hi, Danny. If not butter, what else could you use on a regular basis for fat? Tallow, fatty meat,
Bone
fatty
marrow.
steak, bone marrow. Rochelle, you look really excited. What do you recommend?
Oh my gosh, egg yolks, chicken skins, bacon, bacon fat, duck fat, beef fat, any kind of animal fat, butter, tallow, suet is another great one. You can get beef fat trimmings. A lot of butchers will provide beef fat trimmings, and you can actually render your own tallow. That's where I would start.
Perfect. Let's keep going. Great answer. Kingdom, is there a problem with insulin suppression from not eating carbs for long periods of time, as insulin has other functions? Dr. Phil.
Oh, this is a great physiology question. So I'm really glad you gave this to me. So everybody knows that the blood sugar is what stimulates insulin, but other things stimulate insulin too. And when you're carnivore, your goal is you're not getting much dietary glucose, but you are making glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis, where the liver is packaging glucose. And that's why you don't get drive your blood sugar all the way down to zero, because your body will make up what glucose it needs for primary function. And also cortisol, exercise, other things increase your insulin levels. So now I have heard a couple of influencers on the internet claim that they add carbs back into their carnivore diet if they're having problems with their insulin, but that doesn't make physiologic sense to me. And I would be looking at what is really going on with them. Do they have a pancreatic deficiency, some type of fatty liver, or other process to explain that? So I'm really not worried by people that are eating carnivore for a long period of time having to worry about driving their insulin to zero. Most people in the Western culture have problems with insulin resistance. And so they're going to have higher than normal insulin levels, and you really want to get those insulin levels down and not worry about driving it down too low. The body will heal itself and produce just what you need if you give time for it to heal. If you make insulin, if you're a type 1 diabetic, that's a different argument. So
Great. Thank you so much for explaining. Let's keep going. Hi, Torma. I have been on meat heavy diet keto since last January. Carnivore for the past 4 months. I had I'm not going to say that, but the poops, okay, for about a week, then settled down, and I had bad sleep, but it seemed to have improved. Thanks for your vids. Oh, so not really a question, I
Cool.
guess. Thank you, Torma. Thank you for
Great
the support.
Yeah.
Glad the videos help. And by the way, anyone who just joined the live stream, welcome, welcome. We have these every Friday night, but this is the place to ask your questions. If you have a question for us to address, just put a capital triple Q so that we can see it clearly. Herschel, ever heard of anyone getting inflammation from butter? Anyone here get inflammation from butter?
Cheap butter.
Okay.
I get inflammation from cheap butter. Like if I eat like no name brand butter, then it bothers me. I get an upset stomach. I get like congestion and stuff like that. But Kerrygold doesn't bother me. I don't know. I guess it's just how much lactose they squeeze out of it.
Yeah, I definitely get
Well-
inflammation from butter.
Mm.
You do?
Yeah, for
Now
sure.
I notice a lot of restaurants now are using what they call
That's not
butter,
butter.
but it's not
That's not
butter.
butter.
It's butter with vegetable oil in it.
It's margarine.
And
Right.
no, they're
No.
actually using
Oh no, you're right.
margarine.
Yeah,
They're using a margarine butter mix and calling it butter.
Right.
right.
And you have to ask them, and they have to disclose it if you ask them, is it 100% butter or not?
Okay. But
Yeah.
it's true. They're actually adding palm oil and olive oil and all that kind of stuff in the butter
All
now.
kinds of things.
Yes,
Wow.
to make it sound healthier.
Yeah. But Adek, do you get inflammation from butter? Like real butter?
No, I don't. I
That's
don't feel
great.
better. Yeah.
Well,
I'm
then I'd love to hear from you, Todd. Like, how do you know what symptoms?
Mostly fluid retention. When I eat any kind of butter, no matter what it is, I'll retain fluid, and then that's why I switched over to tallow, and then a slight bit of joint inflammation. And I don't get it in my lungs or anything like other inflammation, but I feel it in my joints and I feel it in fluid retention, and that's even if I eat the unsalted butter. So it's definitely why I switched over to tallow.
Nice. No, I haven't had any issues with butter that I know of, but I really don't dig butter for some reason. So I rather, animal fats for sure. I rarely do butter, but I haven't noticed anything. And I try to avoid, well, no, I'll take that back. So so they did put butter on a steak one time and I had reactions, but I don't think that was butter. So,
That was probably like seed oil
Yeah.
butter.
and that was out restaurant. So I have no idea.
You just never know. Yeah.
You just
Janelle,
never
how
know.
about you?
I haven't noticed any inflammation from butter. I use a lot of ghee though too, so I
Cool.
usually cook with ghee.
Cool.
Good tip. So ghee is clarified butter. So if you do find that you get inflammation, for whoever asked, play around with ghee because it's clarified. So there
Yeah,
isn't those trace amounts. Yeah.
I definitely do not get inflammation from ghee.
Great.
Okay. Yeah. But you still choose tallow.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
just because I don't ghee's got a sour taste to it to me. I don't know why.
I know. I can't get used
Yeah.
to the taste either.
Me either.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Sandy. My question is, how do I avoid cramps in my legs, drinking electrolytes and drinking water? Should I take any vitamins? Okay. So who here takes, just show of hands, who here takes electrolytes? I don't. Janelle? Okay. Well, Janelle,
Great.
so just remind everyone, how many days in are you?
50.
Yeah, typically we do tend to see people who are newer with their carnivore journeys. Electrolytes help a ton with leg cramps. And so is she still getting leg cramps even taking electrolytes and drinking water? Sounds like it, right? Should I take any vitamins? Who here takes vitamins on a carnivore diet? What do you take?
Currently, I'm taking elk velvet antler, lithium, niacinamide. Let's see. Iodine. A grass-fed beef liver supplement. And I take bee pollen every day.
Yeah, those aren't vitamins, but I totally agree with all
Yeah, I
those.
didn't know. I was like, supplement, vitamin, same thing.
Yeah, supplement. Yeah, yeah.
What do you think, Raymond, for this question?
I mean, I like the idea, especially early on. If you've not taken any, don't take any until at least 90 days. After 90 days, just try it out, because a lot of one of the things Dr. Baker said, you don't know what these vitamins are really doing, whether they're helping or not. So if you go without it for a little while and then add them in back one by one, then you'll know which one's a waste of time, because you should feel it. If it doesn't make that much of a difference for you, why are you doing it? And ever since then, I've kept on that philosophy. It has to make a pretty drastic difference for me and noticeable to do it.
I'll tell you what, dry fasting, I had chronic leg cramps, and dry fasting is what cured my chronic leg cramps.
Really?
Ooh. And wait. So even after you broke that dry fast,
Mhm.
you don't get leg cramps anymore?
No, and I think what it is that I became more fat adapt, which meant I was more adapt to metabolic fluid, and so I started having more access to metabolic, minerals.
Oh, okay. Very
That's
cool.
amazing. Yeah, with me, what worked was mouth taping, weirdly enough. So no supplements or anything, because I did try the magnesium and everything. And actually, I had more leg cramps when I did the biglycinate magnesium. And then when I did the mouth taping, suddenly I just didn't have any leg cramps. So I'm saying it's the mouth taping with me.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah.
I recently started mouth taping. Did I tell you, Adek? Yeah, you
some-
inspired
I
me.
didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and I do see a difference, or I feel a difference in when I wake up in the morning. I just feel much more well rested. For anyone in this live stream watching the playback, comment if you guys mouth tape or not, and if you felt any differences at all.
Yeah,
Because a lot of
and
people don't think it's really reasonable.
I do really want to warn for people who already have breathing issues, probably maybe not a best idea for that one. But if they're on a CPAP or whatever.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, it's great. Yeah.
Okay, Nav has a follow-up. Thank you for your super chat. Can I take a vitamin D3 K2 supplement that comes with MCT oil? I'm on a lion diet. Also, my vitamin B6 is 42, B12 1409, which are above the reference ranges. Is that okay? Well, sorry to put it on you, Dr. Phil, but I think you're the most qualified here.
Well, you can't get toxic on water soluble vitamins. So your B vitamins are fine. Don't worry about the high levels of those. And you can take the D3K2 supplement, but the fact that you're getting a supplement with MCT oil, you're probably overpaying for it. But if you have it, use it. MCT oil that's medium chain triglyceride oil that is heavy in the C10 and C12 carbon. Those are 10 carbon and 12 carbon fats, which get absorbed directly from your gut into your bloodstream. And those are very helpful for people adapting to carnivore, but you really don't need to take them long term. And most people are spending money they don't need to be spending unless you have a problem with really severe lymphedema that's not resolving, not getting any better. But yes, you can do those.
Perfect. Let's keep going. Thank you, Valentine. Lovely to have a place to hear about health benefits and to learn about the carnivore lifestyle. Taking notes.
So sweet.
Well, thank you so much for the sweet message. If you do have a question, feel free to ask. We'd be happy to help in any way. Thank you, Linda. Go ahead.
I wanted to say, Bella, that someone, El Boogie, put in there Sierra Nevada Cheese Company, Bella, Capra raw goat butter from Azure Standard, Azure, AZURE Standard.
Okay. Well, Todd, if you do see that message, it would be great to be able to feature that later. Feel free to just take your time starring that. You don't have to do it right now.
I don't know how to start, but
yeah, it's best just like for playback experience to always put the message visually. So we'll do that eventually.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Thank you
for that.
Let me just go through real quick. I think that Valentine was a Dutch person I know. So Thank you for the comment just now.
Yay! Thank you, Valentine. Linda says, unfortunately, I don't like meat a lot, so I'm mostly eating fish, especially salmon. Also, some meat, butter, and cheese. Do I get enough nutrients? Okay, so if she's only eating fish, salmon with some meat, butter, and cheese, that sounds perfectly fine to me. Raymond?
Oh my gosh, that's great. So first of all, one of the things about salmon that they say is great on omega-3. So we want to get as much as we can. A lot of people say, hey, you should eat fish twice a week, but really, I went through most of my carnivore diet journey just on ribeyes. So you don't have to, but if you like fish, heck yeah. And if you only like fish, that's fine. One thing I want to let you know is that might not last. There'll be sometimes all of a sudden you taste a piece of meat and you're like, this tastes good. Now this is later on down. So don't think that you'll always stay in the same, because right now I'm actually enjoying fish, weirdly enough. So I never thought I'd say that. But anyways, it changes, and it changed for me too.
What type of fish do you enjoy?
Actually, I'm enjoying salmon lately. I was in that tuna kick for a little bit, and now I'm in the salmon kick.
That's true. My goodness.
I'm like, what is going on? It's like I used to be all for ribeye. For me, ribeye now it's just once a day. I'm priming right now, so now the rest is like I want fish. So
that's great. Yeah, Linda, you're doing great. Keep us posted, and thank you for the super chat. Snap, crackle, pop.
All
What a
right.
name. Thoughts on low carb foods like peanut butter and keto yogurt? I mix them both for a good dessert. There's better things.
Like
for sure.
pudding, for instance.
Yeah. Well, let's see who to start. Rochelle, any thoughts first?
If you love yogurt, I am a big advocate for full fat yogurt. I love mixing yogurt with like collagen and then chopping up a carnivore bar and putting it on top. So you get like, kind of like you'd get from like a crunchy peanut butter texture, you get that texture fix, or at least I get the texture fix from it with like that tart yogurt. And then the carnivore bar, whatever kind of carnivore bar you like, you can do it like savory, or you can do it sweet. If you're into the sweets. Yeah, peanut butter, I would say probably not. It's definitely not carnivore. It's high in lectins, which can be very irritating and inflammatory for a lot of people. And it's actually fairly high in carbohydrates. Yeah, I'm not sure who else would like to go.
Yeah. Lindy, share a little bit.
Oh goodness, to think about dessert, that would just be terrible for me. If I had a dessert, I couldn't. I'd have to have a dessert at every meal. Like I can't moderate. Same with peanut butter and yogurt. I do love yogurt, but I can't just stop. I just keep wanting it. So they're items that I don't have. So yeah, I just stick to my meal. No desserts for me because I can't moderate.
totally.
Smoked ribeye is my favorite dessert.
There you go.
Bring that up. So tempting. Yeah, if you guys have not tried smoked any meat, honestly, it's like a flavor. It's hard to describe in words. I've never tasted anything like it, and having the chance to try it like multiple days in a row for every single meal at Todd's when I visited him in Montana was carnivore heaven for me. So good.
Favorite too.
Yeah. Brown butter bites would be another good one. Or like if you want to mix like cream cheese with like cinnamon or something like that, that could also be another option. Make like a cheesecake.
Yes.
I have a cheesecake recipe that's collagen, butter, and cream cheese all blended together, and it hits the spot.
Rochelle has the best recipes. In fact, I was so in a rush to jump into Q&A at the start of this live stream that I forgot that this is Rochelle's very first time hopping on our weekly live streams. Let me give you a chance, Rochelle, to introduce yourself. Just share how long you've been carnivore. What are the major benefits that you've felt from going carnivore?
Oh, well, thank you. I'm really happy to be here. I've been carnivore for just over 2 years. I started October 2nd, 2022. My husband and I had received the diagnosis that we wouldn't be able to conceive children naturally without going through in vitro, which is like $40,000. And who has that kind of cash? And so we figured we must have missed something. You know, we're both former bodybuilders. We were both recovering our health. And he came across the carnivore diet to help with his chronic elbow pain that he was dealing with. And then I came across, he sent me Ken Berry's story. And then I came across a video he had done with Kelly Hogan about how she had overcome infertility with a carnivore diet. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, I'm all in. Like, whatever I've got to do to have a baby, that's what I want to do. And so October 2nd, 2022, we committed to doing 30 days because that seemed like a logical commitment time. And then after 30 days, I couldn't believe how good I felt. And then 60 and then 90. And then we got pregnant. I miscarried and then got pregnant again with our son who I gave birth to last December. And yeah, I'm loving carnivore. Insomnia is gone. Anxiety is gone. Depression is gone. Tinnitus is gone. Fuzzy teeth is gone. Stomach pains like gas, bloating, distension, all of that is gone. Going back and forth between being chronically constipated and then having chronic diarrhea, that's gone. Yeah, I just overall, I feel amazing. Oh, and once I cut out sweeteners, because I kept them in for the first 6-ish weeks, as soon as I cut those out, all of my debilitating arthritic pain just went away.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Let's all give a round of applause to Rochelle's victories and healing. I met Rochelle's baby, by the way. My favorite baby in the world. He's so healthy and so vibrant. He's the best. Thank you, Rochelle.
Thank you.
Cutest, right? Yeah. Code Nomic. Thank you for the super chat. Just diagnosed with, how do you pronounce that? Beta
thalassemia minor.
Thank you so much. And my blood test is showing ferritin at 400. Should I substitute some red meat with fish or just donate blood? Is 400 supposed to be a high number?
It's not that high. And,
Okay.
you know, beta thalassemia is a genetic disorder where you make an abnormal, your hemoglobin molecule is not completely normal. It's a transmitted case. So beta thalassemia minor means you've got the beta thalassemia gene from one parent, but not the other parent. And you really, there's a lot of carnivores that worry about their ferritin, but in this case, you need to keep all the ferritin you can. And I'm not even sure they would want you to donate your blood with beta thalassemia minor. So I would keep taking your red meat and not worry about the ferritin of 400 because you need that extra iron to make the extra hemoglobin your body makes because it's under strain from the beta thalassemia.
Interesting. I've never heard of that before. So,
and you probably never will again. So,
well, we never know. Is this a rare diagnosis?
It's fairly rare. I mean, there are some populations it's more common in, but it's basically a subgroup of anemias. But yeah, it's fairly rare compared to other anemias.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Dr. Phil. And keep us posted, code. This is Clinton. Thank you so much. I fast 24 hours every day, and then I eat meat and eggs. Any bread recipes that do not get slimy or eggy? Courtney Luna's carnivore bread recipe. I made a video, collabed with her. I tried both of her versions. One with cottage cheese, one with predominantly pork rind chips. Both were fantastic. A great hack for carnivore bread is to air fry. So slice it up, right? Bake it however you like. Slice it up, then toast it in the air fryer, and Tastes so good, crispy, crunchy, delivers that toastiness that you need from a bread. So that one's good. Search Courtney Luna on Instagram. She has all of these great recipes that she teaches you how to do. You don't necessarily have to buy her cookbook, but because I love her, her cookbook is now out on Amazon and you can find it. Yeah, just search Courtney Luna Carnivore Cookbook and order it. Great holiday gift. Thank you, Clinton. Hi, Sherry. It's good to see you again. Thank you so much. I just developed an eczema type rash in my eyes. Could this be oxalate dumping? Also, what are digestive symptoms from oxalate? Thank you so much. Well, do you know much about oxalate dumping? Because you were ex-vegan too.
Ooh, I don't really know like what it's considered though. Like I don't know what my symptoms would have been in relation to oxalate dumping.
Typically it comes out in the skin. Like the skin worsens before it gets better. People have reported that oxalates come out of their skin pores. Mine came out of my eyes. So eczema type rash in the eyes. Like mine came out as crystals, like actual eye gunk. And every single morning when I was oxalate dumping, I started getting this like really ooey gooey sticky eye gunk and I couldn't even open my eyes. I had to like clean wash first thing in the morning. It was so bad. What are digestive symptoms from oxalates, Todd?
For me, digestive symptoms, oxalates was indigestion, like heartburn. I'd get that. I would get a little bit of bloating and diarrhea. That's usually what I would get.
Yeah.
Isn't your foaming in the urine or crystals in urine and
Yeah, that too.
and symptom as well? Yeah.
That's a popular one.
Mm.
Joint pains, even.
Right. That's also possible.
That's not digestive, I know. Sorry.
I'm just trying to like understand this eczema type rash in the eyes. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean it's oxalate dumping.
It could be dairy related. A lot of people are sensitive to dairy and they can get like an eczema type rash, or it can cause inflammation and that shows up in the skin. I know certain types of dairy, if I incorporate them into my way of eating, then the eczema in my ears comes back tenfold.
Really? Does it affect the sinuses as well, of course, the dairy?
Yeah, if it's raw dairy, it's fine. It doesn't bother me, but like homogenized, pasteurized, store-bought dairy really bugs me. Really, really bugs me. Except for butter. It's probably just the pasteurization process.
Huh. Yeah. Thoughts, Raymond?
On the oxalates, I mean, the only thing that I know to lessen it a little bit would be, just a lemon and water. But I'm not even a fan of that. It just depends on how bad yours is. Have you guys ever used a calendula cream? That's worked for me pretty well for those rashes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
So,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've had severe on your stomach, though, really?
Yeah,
Did it help?
All over. Yeah, that was the only thing that did something. At least the itch. It stopped the itch, which was the biggest thing, right? Even though the itch felt like it came from inside, for some reason that soothed it for me. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Raymond has some really great little homeopathic hacks and treatments. I remember when I went to Austin, Texas for Hack Your Health, we were getting bit left and right because there were so many mosquitoes and bugs there. And I forgot to bring my, what do you call it? The squeezy thing tool, where once you get bit, you squeeze that venom.
Yeah,
and
the suction tool.
Yeah, the suction tool. The bug bite. I think it's literally called that bug bite tool or something. Didn't bring that. And Raymond, you had like a really cool homeopathic
Apis
spray.
mellifica. Yeah, it was an Apis mellifica. So and it was in a spray form. So that's what I bring usually. I used to have a lot of problems with mosquito bites myself. Not lately, it stopped. So I barely use it, but I still carry it just in case.
Nice. Well, Sherry, hopefully that was helpful. Lindy, did you want to chime in? Dr. Phil? Just checking.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'm good. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's not uncommon for people to get the oxalates in the eyes, and they actually plug the little meibomian glands, which are the glands in your eyelids that produce oil, the oily part of your tears, and keep your eye moist. and you can use warm compresses on your eyes. They actually make a device called a Bruder mask, which BRUDER mask, which you heat up in the microwave and put it over your eyes, and
Cool.
then and then you rinse the eyes out with either of these pads you can buy at the pharmacy, or do it with baby shampoo to keep your eyes cleaned out. But I like Bella, I had quite a bit of problem with the oxalates in the eyes.
Yeah, it's pretty common.
But this sounds like a periorbital eczema that this person had, and that also could be related to other things other than oxalates. I mean, eye makeups can sometimes do that as well.
Right.
Good point.
As an inflammatory reaction.
Right. Sherry, did you topically try any new products, skincare, makeup, mascara even? This could all potentially be irritants. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. This is from Nav. Thank you again. Thoughts on a 3-day sardine fast? Oh, yeah. So this is a very popular topic, I guess, because recently a lot of carnivores have been trying the sardine fast. I'm not actually sure who started it, or who started talking about it. I think Dr. Wiedemann's a big fan.
Lisa, yeah.
I think Dr. Boz started.
Yes,
it.
that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's basically eating nothing but sardines, right? Because I personally have not tried it. Has anyone here tried it?
I've tried a day here or there, but I haven't been able to last 3 days. It's very brutal. I'm not a fan of sardines, but I have tried just for a bit of a reset. And because I can mash it up like baby food and get it down easily. Sometimes I struggle with the beef, so I thought that was another way to get some nutrition in. But it's hard to do 3 days. Yeah, you've really got to be dedicated.
Yeah. I'm allergic to all seafood, so seafood's out for me. No sardine challenge ever for me.
Technically, it's not a fast.
No, it isn't.
That's right. It's not.
It's just eating nothing but sardines.
Because Raymond did a ribeye fast then, if you consider.
I did
Exactly.
an egg fast. I did an egg fast.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, when I try, I actually call it a sardine prime, because you can eat as many sardines as you like through the day. So you're doing a prime in a way.
They should change
with
that.
Sardines.
Yeah.
They should. Yeah.
I think sardines is a good food to break a fast with.
Mhm.
Actually, you're right.
Yeah.
So I kind of like them, and I take them on the plane with me
Mhm.
sometimes, and it's really annoying to the fellow passengers.
Right. You smell it through.
Sardines on a
It
plane.
smells so strong. Yeah,
Very
I've been feeding my golden retriever Simba sardines every single day, because I know with golden retrievers they tend to have joint issues or hip what do you call it? Hip
dysplasia.
dysplasia.
Yes.
Thank you, Todd. Hip dysplasia. And because he's so active, the more active your dog is, the more prone they are to that when they get older. So been feeding him that. And even when I deal with the sardines and I put it in his pet bowl, if it gets on my fingers, I want to throw up.
Oh, I guess you're not going to be eating that.
Imagine having to sit next to Dr. Phil.
How's
on
it
a
working
plane.
for him? How's it working for Simba?
Oh, he is so healthy. So healthy.
So you
And-
can tell by the coat
His
and all
coat,
that?
yeah,
All that
that would
different?
He's a
Yeah.
beautiful boy.
Wow.
When I take him out to run, he can run for hours. If I never stop, he will never stop. He's a machine right now. So I'm very proud. But it works for dogs. It also works for humans. But
Maybe.
I just have a problem with the smell. Yeah.
Mm.
Lindy, though, I am curious. Sorry, just one more question for Lindy. When you did your 1-day sardine fast, what was the purpose and did it get achieved?
Yeah, just because I wasn't able to eat any steak. Occasionally I have a problem with getting meat down because of my lap band. And so just to get some nourishment in, because I stall, because I crash my metabolism because I'm always under eating. So I thought sardines was a really good way to get some nourishment in. But they do recommend to put a tablespoon of fat with it. So sometimes I use just a raw egg yolk, sometimes tallow, and I mix it all up in a saucepan. And it's actually, I don't mind it, but 3 days just seems a little bit much. But I do want to actually try a 3-day fast and just to reset things and when I'm in a stall and see if that helps. But I hear
A
a lot
water
of people
fast?
with the weight loss. No, I can't water fast. I can't prime
Okay,
enough
right.
to do a
Sardine.
white. Otherwise, I'm white
Sardine
knuckling.
fast, got it.
So
Yeah.
Egg
but a
fast
lot
is
of
another
people
one.
a lot of people that do have weight loss stalls turn to a sardine fast, and it seems to kickstart their metabolism again or reset something. Yeah, it seems to work.
Do you think it'll help for if people have a meat aversion? Do you do that for,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It helped me when I
Yeah.
had my ribeye aversion for
Exactly,
a few
yeah.
weeks. And for me, it's a good hurricane preparation food. So
Definitely.
Yes,
I
of course.
stocked up on sardines, tuna, and Spam
Yes, you did.
because they all have long shelf lives.
Okay, thank you
Yeah.
for that. Let's keep going. Yes.
Will we have our names up here? Let's address this one real quick.
Yep, sure.
Just because
Ooh.
Good for you.
just because everybody's handles are up there. So there's our I do have a YouTube channel. It's the Carnivore Cure, and Lindy has at Limitless Lindy, correct, Lindy?
Yes, at Limitless Lindy. Yeah.
And Phil is an SBG exclusive, so only at Steak and Butter Gang. Raymond, what's your YouTube channel?
Just type in my name, you'll see it. It's R Nazon, but you'll see if you type in Raymond Nazon, you'll see my YouTube.
Okay, and then Coach Adek, you are just on Instagram, correct?
Yeah, not yet on YouTube. We'll see.
Okay. How do they get to you on Instagram?
Adek.carnivore.
Nice. And Rochelle, how is that Real Life Carnivore there?
Correct.
On YouTube and Instagram, correct?
YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, website, everything.
All of
Everything
them.
except for Twitter.
And then, of course, Bella at Steak and Butter Gal. So,
Yes, that's right. Definitely take a minute, guys, to follow everyone here. I will be sure to link everyone under this live stream playback in the description box for anyone who enjoys the playback. I will need to collect those links so I can put it down there after this finishes. But we
Yeah,
will do
and
that.
Mo. Okay. There we go.
Oh no, finish, Todd. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say I think about half of those links are in the description right now, but we got to get the other half.
We've been just using a go-to copy pastable, so now I have to collect everybody else's. There was something else I was going to say. Oh yeah, so when I do these live streams, obviously we want to help out as much as possible, but I'm also trying to think, how can we make the playback viewer experience better? So anyone who regularly attends live streams, what do you enjoy when you attend live streams? What can we do better? I'm honestly very curious to know, because whatever it takes to give a wonderful live stream experience, I'm willing to learn. So feel free to share your feedback in the comments under the playback or in the live chat.
Nice.
Okay. Jeremy, thank you for the super chat. We are a family of 5 easing into carnivore and going great. Can we just celebrate that?
Yes.
Carnivore families. We love it. And we picked our poison for a weekend treat, ice cream. 0 issues like with pizza. Why? Interesting.
Maybe carnivore pizza, she meant. 0 issues.
No,
making-
I think they took
No,
regular ice cream.
So
Oh.
Jeremy is saying they ate straight up ice cream, like ice cream with sugar.
and pizza.
And
Wow.
the issues that they dealt with was 0, unlike eating real pizza.
Yeah, compared to.
Well, I could think of a lot of reasons. I mean, pizza's
It's more carnivore.
Oh, I see. No, I have a lot of
Yeah,
issues.
like gluten, seed
Yeah,
oils,
gluten,
kind
yeah,
of making it
yeah,
yourself.
vegetables, you know.
And ice
The
cream is
vegetables, there
dairy.
you go. Yeah.
Whereas ice cream is honestly basically a carnivore food minus the sugar. So
flavor.
yes, my husband Max, his weakest point that keeps him from staying strict carnivore is absolutely hands down ice cream. But because he loves ice cream so much, and who am I to force him to go all in carnivore if he doesn't want to? I mean, currently he wants to, but the one food that always kicks him off is ice cream. But honestly, if you check really good ice cream brands, It's really just cream, milk, maybe skim milk or something, eggs, and sugar. That's it. Right? So technically there's no chemicals like pizza. There is no gluten. So I'm thinking it's because it's a predominantly carnivore food. There's so many animal foods in the ingredients list. What do you think, Todd?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So I just know that the combination of food that made me the sickest and put the weight on me the quickest was soda and pizza. There's something about pizza between all the seed oils, all the sodium, all the bad fats, all the gluten, the immense amount of calories, and it seemed to really strike all the hyperpalatable dopamine triggering chemicals in that food. It is an absolute, dumpster fire of just toxic crap. I don't know what is in pizza, but when I would have that on the standard American diet, I would have lung problems, breathing problems, gain weight, inflammation, fluid retention, heart palpitations. I mean, it was terrible. That I've always said, and my brother said it too. Like the fastest way to kill yourself, I think, is with pizza and soda.
Oh,
I'm pretty certain.
Can I say something on this?
Yes.
According to Bill Clinton, he actually stated that pizza could be part of the food pyramid in a speech in 1997.
Oh
He
my
mentioned the
gosh.
slice of pizza was perfectly
If he says
balanced.
it's good, it's probably
Well-
like a death sentence.
But I'm just making a point that the food pyramid is so bad that they would consider pizza because it's got all of the elements in the right proportion, like the food pyramid would tell us. And just like Todd says, how it's killing you. That food pyramid is the very thing that's killing us.
100%.
I never had an off switch with pizza.
Oh, me too.
I could.
Oh my God.
If I started eating
Largest,
pizza,
largest.
Good point.
I'd eat it as long until it was gone.
Yeah.
There was no off switch.
Yeah.
And I do love making a pizza once in a while with carnivore. And I use one with chicken. I actually use a can of chicken breast and an egg, and to make my crust, pre-bake it, flip it over, then I put pepperoni, Italian sausage, and mozzarella cheese on it.
What's the sauce base? What do you use?
I put no sauce,
No sauce.
just
Okay.
pepperoni, Italian sausage, spicy, and I may hit it with a little oregano because I do
Okay.
like a little oregano, but not all the time. But I put a layer of cheese down first, then put the meat down, and then put another layer of cheese over.
I grind up pork tenderloin because I don't do chicken, and then I make a pork tenderloin crust with mozzarella, eggs, and Parmesan, and then I use buffalo sauce, and then I put bacon on it, and I make a buffalo wing pizza. It's pretty good.
Sounds great.
So good.
You know, a creamy Alfredo would sound good on that, wouldn't it, Rochelle?
I made that.
Great
I
recipe
made
for
that before. Yeah.
Oh, you
with the
did?
carnivore
Oh my
pizza. Yeah, I
God.
made like a cream sauce for the top of one of the pizzas, and it was honestly it was a bit too much for me.
Really? Okay. Too salty? Yeah.
Lots of cream,
Cream.
you know.
But Bella, don't you make ice cream your own for yourself?
I was gonna say,
you make
that's a
your own
great
ice
recipe for ice cream.
Yeah.
You don't even need an ice cream maker. And I would say one of my favorite pizzas is for carnivore pizza is the chicken bacon ranch. So I like to make my own homemade ranch, and then do like a spicy chicken like Todd does with the hot sauce, and then bacon, of course, and whatever kind of cheese I have on hand. Sometimes it's goat cheese, sometimes it's Gruyere, like whatever cheese I'm into at the moment. And then that's on a meat crust made out of either ground meat, ground turkey, or ground chicken with eggs and pork panko crumbs. And then you just blitz it all together and spread it out on your pan. You pre-bake that, and then you put all your toppings on it. And yeah, chicken bacon ranch is pretty delightful.
For sure.
Amazing.
God, I'm such a boring carnivore.
That's okay.
I feel like the freak in the room.
Yeah. I haven't had
Good for
pizza
you.
like
Boring is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Kristen. Thank you for the super chat. Let's keep going. Fitness trainer and CNC for 30 years. What does CNC stand for?
I know. What is that?
Certified nutritional coach.
Oh.
Wow.
Thank you.
Got it?
Very cool.
30 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Never before got such positive results from my clients and myself since being
my
carnivore.
God.
Thank you. Yay.
Wow,
We're so happy
for a
for you.
nutritionist and
Yes,
a
I'm
fitness
so
trainer, that says
glad.
a lot. Oh my gosh.
Amazing. That's
Wow.
incredible.
Well,
Thank you for that.
you have a lot of power to spread the word because you are a CNC and a fitness trainer. So people, I'm sure your clients who come to you for help, I'm sure you're already talking about carnivore diet and how effective it is. So thank you for sharing this, Kristen. It's very inspiring.
That's awesome.
Jane,
Oh.
weaker nails on carnivore. Any ideas, Rochelle?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I would say sometimes it's from eating insufficient amount of protein. It could be like just a micronutrient imbalance. I found for me, especially postpartum, because when I was pregnant, my nails were the strongest ever. I'd never been able to grow my nails before. And then all of a sudden I got pregnant and my nails grew beautifully. And then postpartum, they just kind of went back to being flaky and peely and weak. But I've had some helpful tips, and I was encouraged to try like organ meats or even an organ supplement on occasion, like kind of cycling on and off, making sure I'm eating enough protein, not under eating protein. But Phil, do you have anything you would suggest about weak nails?
Well, I don't. The only thing I'd be concerned about is where they live, how much time they spend with their hands in water, and their age, because we do get some natural drying of the nails with age, and your nails get a little more brittle, and you may need to moisturize with. You can use tallow for that to put on your nails, but I agree with Rochelle. 90% of this is nutrition, and you just got to tank yourself. And I love your suggestions, Rochelle. Organ meat is a great idea.
Thank you.
Yeah. And perhaps collagen as well. I mean, just get it from the meats. Not, I mean, there's of course the supplements, but go for like bone marrow and all the cartilages in the in between the red muscle meat as well. That's good for bones, skin, hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bella's recipe for oxtail soup or her jiggly jello, the golden jello.
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
That is good. Yeah.
What I was thinking when you talked about that, Adek, is flanken short ribs. You know how around each of those tiny little bones, there's that chewy part? That is what will help your nails. So eat that.
Yeah.
Love it.
And eat a lot.
Oh, yeah. Sherry? Yep. Hi
No,
again.
go ahead.
Is lamb the easiest protein to digest? If not, which meat would you consider the least histamine? Thank you so much. Rochelle, what are your thoughts?
Ooh, I love lamb, and for some people, lamb is an easier protein for them to digest. Some people are sensitive to beef. Some people just do better on those very small ruminant animals. If not, which meat would you consider the least histamine? Unaged meat. So lambs are much smaller. They don't have to hang for as long to have the blood let from them. So that might be more helpful for someone who's having histamine issues. You may also want to consider like a DAO, diamine oxidase enzyme. That can be really helpful for managing histamine. Some people have to go into using Claritin and like Pepcid AC, which block the H1 and H2 histamine receptors. But yeah, if you're looking for low histamine meats, trying to get it unaged as best as possible, and then cooking the meat from frozen, so that way it's not having time to develop histamine, and only cooking enough that you'll eat it, and that way you don't have to store it in the fridge, or you can just freeze it again. And animal fats, very, 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 very minuscule amounts of histamine, if any at all, in animal fats.
So Rochelle, I'd like you to clarify, how do you know a meat is unaged when you buy it?
You have to request it. And like if you know your butcher, or if you're ordering from say like Billy Doe Meats or White Oak Pastures or one of those local regenerative farms, you can actually request and just say, hey, I have histamine issues. Like, can I have this unaged? Because most meat is dry aged, like I think like 7 to 21 days, and it gives it like a specific flavor. But you can specifically ask. Also, avoiding ground meats. Ground lamb is great, but it will contain more histamine because it's had more time to have oxygen get access to it.
Love it. Great tips. Thank you so much for that. That was a complete answer. But one thing for you, Sherry, play around with how you cook the meat too. So it doesn't necessarily have to be lamb over beef or which red meat is the best. Just play around with how you cook it. You may even feel and see a difference in digestion. So for example, let's take ribeye. If you're going to cook that in an Instant Pot where you cook the hell out of it and you're high pressure cook for 50 minutes, you try eating that and then try eating it raw. You're going to feel a difference in digestion.
Yes.
You do not have to eat it raw. I'm just like trying to make a good contrast, or a quick flash sear. It's going to be a lot easier to digest. So awesome. I put Billy Doe Meats linked in the live chat. It is a fantastic source for non-aged meat. Rochelle did mention that. Let's keep going. Hi, Cotton Candy Kayak. My carnivore birthday was August 1st of this year. Happy carniversary. That's awesome.
Happy carniversary.
Yay. I have never felt better. SBG. I can't do the sticks of butter yet, but butter on my ribeyes. Yum. That's awesome. That's totally fine, by the way.
There's a lot of fat there in the ribeye too. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're still very, very high fat, and that's incredible for you. But congratulations, and thank you so much for the support.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Hi, Alexis. I'm based in Colorado. There is a lot of cannabis and mushroom use here. Thoughts on partaking while on carnivore?
Plants are trying to kill you.
Yes.
Or drug you heavily.
Oh, drug you heavily? Did you say?
Yeah.
So Adek lives in the Netherlands.
Yes.
And I think, do Dutch people use these two products a lot?
Regularly, yeah. It's
regularly, right?
Recreational, yeah. It's just been here, it's one of just the normal things that we grow up with. Definitely. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't use that, but I know we use it for medicinal uses.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I see plants. I don't like plants either, Todd, but I do see that people do benefit on the medicinal side of it. Even cannabis and mushrooms. Yes.
Ooh, awesome.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to chime in on this one?
I mean, okay, I'm going to say this. Okay. So, again, try carnivore for 3 months before trying anything else. Okay. Now, obviously, cannabis and mushrooms, I mean, unless you're going to be a daily user of either, and which is, probably not advised anyways. But if you're using recreationally once a month, once every other weekend or something like that, I mean, just think of it like it's for fun, right? So, and the amount is so little, I don't know if it's really going to matter. But if you start noticing an addictive pattern with it, then I definitely think that's an issue, because plants are not just trying to kill us, they're also trying to addict us too. So.
One, and the munchies can't be good for cravings, right?
Oh, well, yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's right. The munchies, right. Yeah, what happens when you're under the influence? Will you stay carnivore?
Well, you remember.
Great point. Well, will you remember? Right.
I think the question too is, like she said, she's based in Colorado, and there's a lot of cannabis and mushroom use there. Not that she's using it per se, but I think the better question would be, why do you want to consider using it, and what benefits do you think you might get from using those versus just trying carnivore? There's a lot of benefits to just being carnivore, and you could see how that helps. Do like what Ken Berry says, do 3 to 6 months, and then see how your body feels. And if you need to add those things in later, then you can revisit that. But for now, I would say, what adjustments can you make in your way of eating and your lifestyle that might benefit you long term, that you don't even need to add those things in? Because I do think that the long-term side effects of these things have not been studied in depth enough in order for us to actually know how they're going to affect us long term. Like, I've heard recently, and I don't remember the study, but I've heard recently that men who participate in the use of cannabis, certain types, it actually lowers their testosterone. Why would you want to lower your testosterone? Yeah. Just asking the question. But these are all things that we have to think about. And I know I don't want to assume, but judging by your picture, you look like a lady. And I would not worry about your testosterone at that point. But I think there's just a lot of interruptions that can happen internally from taking these substances that maybe haven't been proven or studied or witnessed yet, like the long-term side effects. It's just my 2 cents on that.
I love Rochelle's point of view. Look, it messes with your hormones down the line, right? I mean, testosterone might be one known one. We don't know what other hormones it's affecting. So are we willing to take that risk? Is the question. Yeah. Thank you, Rochelle.
That was
Thank
lovely.
you guys for chiming in on this one. I think we've got 2 ladies who do need to go. So I wanted to formally say goodbye and thank you. Rochelle, thank you so much for joining us today. We love you.
Thank you.
Anyone watching, follow her and subscribe. I'll make sure to link it in the description. And Janelle, you too?
I do have to part.
You double part.
Start sharing her journey and her progress. So I will also link Janelle down below after this live. Yay!
Thank you all.
Janelle, I'm glad
Love you
you were getting
guys.
this-
Have a great weekend. Thanks everyone for
Bye,
coming.
Janelle. Bye, Rochelle.
I'm gonna go send Janelle out and say goodbye. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah,
keep
no worries.
enjoying. I'll be right back.
Keep
All
it
right.
It's
going.
gonna be a madhouse when you're gone.
Anita,
Okay. Well,
do you want
All
to
right.
go?
Oh, there we go. On Carnivore Week 5, how do I stop cortisol spikes in the middle of the night?
ooh, that's a good one.
Yes.
Go ahead,
Raymond?
Rebecca. I know what you're
Or,
thinking.
okay, there you go.
Oh, well, one of the tips that, and I've actually had a client who uses it all the time, is butter in during the night. So if you wake up, have a spoon ready on your bedside table and take a bite of that, or just eat that spoon, and it does help. She falls asleep and her insulin spike goes down for sure, and she doesn't even have to go to the bathroom or anything as well. So that's fine. I don't know if there are any other tips.
I think Dr. Bright has a container of butter cubes by her bed.
Oh,
for that
really?
purpose.
So
Yeah.
smart.
Gosh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And she's big about cortisol control, and she uses
Yeah.
butter as controlling for cortisol. So it's a great idea.
I just stopped fighting it. Every morning at 3:30, it was happening no matter what, and it would wake me up. So now I wake up at 3:30 and I just go work out.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
so
You can
I
do that,
just
I guess.
I just wake up at 3:30 now.
Embrace
So
it.
yeah, because I just go to bed earlier, and I just get up at 3:30 because no matter what, it seems to be I don't know, it seems to be just a time of night type of thing. Doesn't seem to cause that, but at 3:30, no matter what, every night, somewhere between 3:15 and 3:40.
I was already wondering why you were already awake when you were texting me this morning.
Yeah, I
I
wake
still get that, by the way, Todd, still to this day.
Yeah, and so do I. And I just got tired of fighting it because the more that I tried to fight it, the less it seemed like I'd sleep. I try to go back to sleep. I might fall asleep at 5:30 for an hour
Right.
or 30
Right.
minutes. I'd wake up feeling like crap. So I just started going to bed a couple hours earlier, getting up at 3:30, going and working out before work, and I feel way better. Way
So
better.
smart. So smart.
It was definitely the answer for me.
Yep. Or eating a little bit of butter, or eating before bed.
I tried
That's
all
some
those
people don't
things.
do that.
and It
Well,
just
that's
didn't
You know,
work.
yeah, that one's dangerous. Right.
It's
You
not
tried
dangerous,
those,
it's
that didn't work.
different for everyone. Yeah.
Well, it is. It is. Eating before bed can cause a lot of upsetness and all that. But that's one way to get the cortisol down too.
Yeah.
So, but that didn't work for you though, Todd, huh? Yeah.
No, like if I ate, I wouldn't have the cortisol spike, but I'd have like indigestion or something at night.
Right. That's the problem.
And then I wouldn't go into REM sleep.
Yeah. I'd had a lot of energy then, then I'll just go to bed at 4 because I have too much energy to fall asleep after eating at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I find that I wake up in the middle of the night, I can't sleep, husband's snoring, so I jump on my vibration plate and I just stand there with my eyes closed and just sort of tune out. And then I can jump back into bed and I fall straight to sleep. It's just like it relaxes my whole body.
Really?
So I don't know, it's just like a bit of a meditation in a way. Yeah. I sleep
You're
like
able
a
to go back
baby.
to sleep. That's amazing. But you're not able
Yeah.
to go back to sleep, right, Todd?
No,
Or
I
can you?
not
Yeah,
not
you're
for
up.
like not for like 2 hours at least, and then I'll fall back asleep. But then I actually feel worse. I'll almost have a headache. I'll just be, I don't know, it's something I do not like it. After I wake up at 3 from that obvious cortisol spike, I got to just get up because it's just futile after that.
Interesting.
Awesome.
All right. Oh, can you say that one more time, Bella? I feel like maybe your mic cut out or something.
Oh, is it better now?
There we go. Yeah.
Okay. It was just a bit far.
No worries.
Yay.
Oh, sorry. There was a super chat I didn't see. Let me go to that one first.
Hi, Tammy. Good to see you.
Oh,
I did ask a question. Okay, Tammy.
What
Let me
was
go
that?
look. Hold on.
Yes.
Tammy. Sorry, I was in the star chat, so I gotta go find it. Tammy. Oh boy.
There's a
In
lot
the
of
meantime, can I do another question while you find that? Because I
Yeah.
really want to answer this
Yeah.
one. JW, welcome. So he or she says, I'm joining SBG after being carnivore a month now. Should I get blood work done now before starting with the gang? So we typically like to recommend getting the blood work done 90 days after going carnivore, just because there's going to be a lot of fluctuations and changes that don't necessarily need to have your attention just yet. So 3 solid months of carnivore, then get your blood work done. But if you have blood work already from before going carnivore, that would be incredibly eye-opening to compare standard American diet blood work to 3 months into carnivore blood work. So you don't necessarily have to do it just because you're starting to join the gang. But we can't wait to welcome you in. Dr. Phil, any thoughts? Oh, you're muted, Dr. Phil, right now. Let me see if I can unmute you. You're still muted. Okay.
No, I'm not. The one thing we do recommend everyone in SVG is you start taking photos of yourself every couple of weeks for your own use to establish a baseline. And honestly, your photos will establish a better baseline than your blood work will, because you can go back to that and see the healing in your face and your body. And
Right.
so that's something that doesn't cost you anything. Just do it on your phone.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it in the gang when they just, share their hair, the difference in their hair and the teeth and any kind of, difference. Just show us. It's just you'll be amazed with yourself how, if you take those pictures. So yeah, go for it.
I love that you guys are talking about progress pictures. I feel like I don't say it enough because I keep forgetting myself, but whether or not you join the Steak and Butter Gang, you should be taking progress pics, not to post on the internet and for the world to see. It's for your eyes only. There's nothing more accurate than progress pictures, especially if you're purposely posing the same, like front, side, back, and definitely if you're wearing the same outfit. It could be very, very cool to see. So yeah. Yay. Okay, let's keep going.
There we go. Found it.
You found it?
Thank
Cool.
you, Todd. So Tammy says, I've started adding more fat, butter, and tallow. 2 years, 95% carnivore, 64 female, SW. What does SW stand for?
Southwest.
Okay. All right.
In medical terms, we would call that a single white female.
White
But
female, but there's no
I don't
F.
know what she means. But
Right.
Is it before it's 230 and now 150?
Okay, well, anyways.
CW. What's CW?
Yeah.
SW, over 230
Oh,
pounds.
current
CW,
weight. Current weight.
Oh.
Current weight.
Oh, starting weight,
right,
starting
right,
weight,
right.
okay.
Starting weight, current weight. Got
Current
it.
weight.
We've learned.
Wow, I've
Good
never
one.
seen that
Thank
before.
you, Lindy.
Okay, we learned something new. Thank you, Lindy.
Right.
Okay, starting weight over 230 pounds, current weight 150 pounds. That is incredible.
Wow,
Can we
that's
applaud that firstly? So that's 80 pounds lost. Fantastic. I stalled a lot though. Thoughts on adding extra fat while eating at least a pound and more of protein? Yeah, Adek, you were quite visually nodding. What do you think?
Is she asking this to break the stall, or
I'm assuming so.
Yeah. I know about Lindy that to actually go break the stall is to prime again, right?
Yeah, I had to prime and decrease the fat because I was restricting fat quite a bit, and then I lost a lot of hair and had quite a few complications with that. So adding the fat, and the scales kept dropping for me once I broke that stall. having the increased fat, I was still losing weight. So yeah, don't believe the fat makes you fat. It doesn't, or didn't for me.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. Todd, any thoughts on this? Adding more fat for breaking the stalls?
Yeah, I mean that did. I've never, just eating more in general for breaking the stalls definitely helped. But I did go through a period which was kind of crazy. I was talking to another carnivore that is pretty meticulous at tracking, and he did make a good point that he believes that when carnivores start to heal, they become, their metabolic process for gluconeogenesis becomes more efficient, and then all of a sudden they can kind of get in a stall because they kind of spike their insulin quicker. And so I did have that happen to me, and I had to up my fat to 2-to-1, and that definitely turned some things around. I'm trying to think how it did with my stall. I think it was just the fact that I added that, and plus I was eating more. But for me, it's always been priming that's really pulled me out of a stall. I mean, I just did it just 5 weeks ago. I had to reprime, and right now I'm dropping weight again because I stalled and did a 5-week reprime, and I gained, for everybody that's worried about the weight gain, I gained 40 pounds in 5 weeks and I started from a huge, point of 700 plus pounds. I gained 40 pounds in 5 weeks, and 34 of it's already off, like in 1 week, of fasting. So it's not real. It's just fluid and nonsense, So.
And I'm going to say it again. I don't see a stall as something negative. It's just your body taking a break, and using priming and eating more is to gather more nutrients so that it can be strong enough to go, further to go back on the fat loss process. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So Tammy, let me put up her follow-up comment here. She says, after listening to Raymond and Bella, I do feel better. Just mixed messages with older women. Mixed messages will be common in any community, because again, there's no one size fits all. That's why there's mixed messages. What works for one woman is not necessarily going to work for Adek or Lindy or me. But I think
an older woman. Look, I'm fine.
Oh, are you? Share how young you are, Adek.
I'm going to be 14. I'm 49 now, but I'll be 50 in the end of the year.
Yeah, you're pretty much 50. Look at that.
That's not an older woman, but okay.
Well, everyone's saying, you just start deteriorating, and there's this kind of age. They're like,
by 40, right? Yeah, just getting better, aren't you?
I hope so.
Well, keep us posted, Tammy, and see what works for you. We'd love to know.
Okay. All right, so that is for this, and then why am I sweating so much? A follow up to this.
Okay. Why am I sweating so much? I just started 2 weeks ago. Congrats. And I'm doing well, I guess, but I'm sweating so much. I'm from Canada. Okay. Welcome to the live stream. Meat sweats. They're pretty common. Maybe he or she doesn't know about the meat sweats, but typically when you're adapting to only eating meat, no more carbs, no more ice cream, and you're eating all these dense, hot cooked meats, your body just goes up in body temperature. So you have more heat energy to expend. And so some people will sweat. Some people will just feel warmer, not have cold hands even. It comes out in different shapes and forms, but I definitely had meat sweats, intense meat sweats. It was just a sign that like, wow, this is incredible protein and fat coming in. Let's use it for energy. Let's like utilize these amazing nutrients. Dr. Phil, I'm sure you can explain it much better.
Oh, you're doing great. I like the meat sweat stuff, and it's great. I don't have anything to add.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's totally normal, Raymond.
Yeah, I want to say about meat sweat. So think about your metabolic rate going up. So it's just on fire. So this is great if you're trying to get calories just consumed, if you want to call the word calories. But they say that there's a thermogenic effect on meats compared to carbs, especially. It also takes a lot more to digest your meats than it would be, say, carbs. So a little of that extra works makes the engine burn a little bit hotter. Don't worry, this is not for a long period of time. This is just for a short period of time until you adapt and your body just gets a lot stronger and a lot better. And then I hardly get it anymore. So, but it's nice to have it.
Just see it as like your body's waking up finally.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's alive.
It's alive. Yeah.
It's like getting that jolt from Frankenstein, right?
Exactly.
It's alive. It's alive. Yeah, it's a nice feeling.
Nice.
All right, Mac, my friend.
Oh.
I do not I appreciate it so much. I do not think that there's a comment with this one. They're making us work for it tonight. They're posting comments, and I'm gonna be great at Where's Waldo after this. I can tell you that. I'm gonna find that dude in a second.
They want to see you confused, Todd.
Exactly. I'm gonna go all the way back. If this person's still here, you're awesome. But no, those were amino acids that I was showing about that enzyme way early on. But that they did really. Raymond, what is that stuff that makes amino acids taste like vomit that also seems to help our digestion?
Wow.
Is that the, which one's that one? That's the, I think it's the isoleucine, but I'm not really sure.
Is it? Yeah, one of the amino acids is what
leucine.
seems to taste like stomach acid. So it tastes like puked in your mouth, but whatever it does, it seems to make your digestion really good.
Wait, I'm trying to think. Which one was that one?
I don't remember when we had the bottles of powder that you can hardly.
Yeah, we were doing the powder, and then the one that was mixed, and it was we hardly did it, and that one had all the amino acids. Remember when you couldn't even swallow it?
Yeah, it was rough. You'd be taking it down
really
as like
rough.
this tastes like it's coming back up. Or,
Yep.
it's rough.
Nice.
All right.
Oh wow. Oh, I love this one.
Oh, okay. So Louise says, I only started carnivore 3 days ago and feel way better already. What's going on? Well, that's exciting. Yay. What is going on? A lot of things could
Take
be
it
going
as a
on.
win.
Yes, definitely.
It is a win. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The problem is I think what she's saying is like, can this be real? You know, it's like, can this be so quick? You know,
I can say this for sure, that I did a weightlifter's diet for 14 months. Was never more miserable in my life. And I accidentally found carnivore because I ate 4 ribeye steaks in 4 days and felt better than I've ever felt in my life. And I actually had to go research it. So it can get that good. It got so good for me in 4 days that it made me Google it, going, why am I feeling so much better on ribeye and butter, that I'd never heard of the carnivore diet before? And I had to go look. I never heard of keto before. And I had to go look because I'm just saying that was almost a blind trial, because I didn't have any preconceived. It was literally the food that did it. And I had to go look because it got so good. It lifted depression, anxiety, lost like 11 pounds or something in 4 days. And my body felt better. I had energy, it was crazy.
Yep. Bella, didn't you say, I remember you said your first bite.
I wanted to say that too. Yeah.
So that's what I want to hear, how amazing that even first bite was.
Well, when you're deprived of animal foods altogether for 6 years straight, when you eat anything that comes from an animal, you feel it immediately. Like the second that it's in your mouth, you feel it. Okay. So I just felt like I went from seeing life in the world from black and white to in color. I just felt like I was finally back to life. I was living as a zombie as a vegan, and then I just came back to life, functioning properly. So I felt it in my mental health. I felt it in my satiation, my mood, my physical wellness. So yeah, a lot of things could be happening, Louise, and we're very, very excited and happy.
Adek, you felt that too, right?
Oh, first bite of ribeye, it was euphoria. It was just like this huge rush went through my body on the first
That's
one.
a good word to describe it. Yeah. So cool. Todd, shall we go on?
Yes.
Ooh, okay, wait. Looking at Todd's face, I can tell. Do we have trolls?
Well, not a troll, but Ricky's got me here. I like this comment. He said, "Remember farts, y'all? Those were the days."
No, carnivores no fart. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
That's
those
right.
were the old days. All right.
He was reminiscing.
Yep, reminiscing.
That's awesome. Sorry.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, a question for everyone since Rick brought it up. Put it in the live chat if you're in the live stream right now or watching the playback. Comment it. Do you fart right now on a carnivore diet? Like, would you say you fart or maybe noticeably less, 20%, 80%? I'd just love to hear about the changes in gas.
It is so rare now that I actually think when it happens, I'm like, oh, I must be oxalate dumping.
Yeah, that's right. I go through a dumping period. That's what happens.
Right.
When I fart.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's got to be, because for some reason every now and then, first of all, when I farted like as a carnivore, there was no smell, but every now and then there's like some kind of intensity to the smell, and also a period of time where I have it for often. So it's almost like it goes through a period of time where it just unleashes, and then most of the time nothing.
Okay, this is also very real.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You're right, Sherry. You're right.
Yeah,
Thank you, Sherry.
Don't trust a fart. Yep.
That is a public service announcement. If I ever heard
Yeah.
100%,
Saving
because
lives.
I didn't trust. I didn't even know about this. Like, don't trust a carnivore fart when I first went carnivore, and
Don't
I
go
was
shopping.
in class in New York. Okay, and like I just sprinted to the bathroom. But yeah, it happened, and I'm sure it has happened to every single carnivore.
Yeah.
Like, at least
For
once.
me, it's actually like a little warmth there. But I'm like, because you think it's a fart, right? You think it's a
And
fart, right?
There's
But
the
it's like
line.
warm, and
There's
you're like,
too far.
oh, is that too far? Sorry. Did I cross that line?
Raymond,
Never mind.
what if people are eating?
Newbies need to know, right?
We all understand how that works, Raymond.
I'm just saying, because sometimes I didn't realize it until there's something a little too warm, and then that was it right there.
So when Todd said that was a bit too far, you didn't have to keep going. All right, let's wrap that up.
Okay, before we get people to throw up. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Torma. Is pork classed as red meat? I mostly eat pork, 12% burger patties, pork belly slices, and sausages. Is that okay if you don't want to buy steaks? I don't think pork is classified as red meat, even though it sometimes looks like it when it's raw. Would you think so, Todd?
No, Sam Elliott. Listen to his commercials. The pork, the other white meat.
The other one.
Really?
Yeah, it's definitely not red meat, because I think only ruminant animals are red meat, right?
Yeah.
So, well, I have eaten warthog in South Africa. It would look really, really red.
Really
So
red,
I'm not sure if that's.
Actually, I think it is red meat, because I just looked it up. It says it's classified as red meat. This classification is based on the color of the meat and its myoglobin content.
Oh, interesting.
But then again, that doesn't make sense, because chicken is definitely white meat, but it's got myoglobin. So I don't know.
Yeah, but when you cook it, the meat becomes white and the myoglobin drains out as red. So it's the myoglobin denatures very easy when you cook chicken. That's why you see those juices, red juices that run out. So, I mean, most people think it's undercooked chicken, but it's really myoglobin that runs out and makes those red juices. So, but I agree, pork is a red meat, and you really should, as a carnivore, pay a lot of attention to red meat versus white meat. Pay attention to ruminant versus non-ruminant, because that gives you a better idea of what your body prefers. And you can eat any meat you want. I mean, fish, chicken, any kind of poultry, pork, beef, but you may find one class, like non-ruminant animals, you have issues with, or you get palate fatigue on for a while. So I wouldn't worry about red versus white. I'd worry about eat what you like and does well with your body.
Exactly.
I love that. Well, let me ask everyone in this live stream and watching, comment what you think. Is pork red meat to you? Yes or no? Let's keep going. Hi, Lee. How can I be producing ketones and still have stupid high insulin level? Oh, okay. So the level that Lee has is 25.56.
So high insulin levels are indicative of insulin resistance. And the body is kicking out more insulin because the insulin you're making, the muscles aren't responding, the insulin receptors aren't responding to it. So over time, those ketones and switching to a fat metabolism will help you to cure your insulin resistance. And I saw someone in the chat who was trolling who said, well, don't you know that fat causes insulin resistance? And that's actually not true. Insulin resistance makes you fat. It's not that eating fat causes insulin resistance. Of the macroproteins, which is protein, fats, and carbohydrates, fats are the only one that do not impact your insulin levels. But if you're insulin resistant, you're going to want to turn excess glucose into triglycerides and fat and store it. So that statement was kind of a misunderstanding of human physiology.
100%, because I was 700 pounds and I was not type 2 diabetic. I was pre-diabetic, but I didn't cross the line even at 700 pounds.
So give yourself more time, and with time, your body should get more and more fat adapted. You'll have less need to be, and you may actually find that you do better on carnivore than being keto, because you may need to cut the amount of carbs you're eating down even lower and do some intermittent fasting. And if that doesn't work, do some 48-hour fast. But give your body time to heal.
Perfect.
But a ketogenic diet can be anything less than 200 carbs, but some people need 100 carbs. Some people need 50 carbs a day.
20.
I'm talking grams. Some need 20, some need 10. And some people like us on this call, we're all around 0 to 2 probably a day. So, but know thyself and just keep cutting down the carbs until you find where your sweet spot is and can get that insulin down to single digit levels.
Awesome.
For sure.
Hi, Bill. Bill says, does the carnivore diet have any success with prostate issues? 63-year-old male with diabetes. Been on this diet for a little over 2 months. Completely off my insulin now. Congrats. But prostate still sucks. Raymond, do you want to start?
Oh, gosh. Well, I mean, for prostate health, that part, I don't know. I don't think I ever had that issue, but I did have ED, and that helped a lot. So obviously that upped my testosterone to the point where, right now, still trying that goal of trying to act like a 16-year-old, but other than my personality. But, I'm pretty doggone close on that part. So I'm very happy with the levels that it went up to. So if that works, I would think that would help the prostate too.
Yeah, and we just did a men's health call internally on Steak and Butter Gang last month on prostate cancer and talked about prostate health. And there's no doubt that there are several things that can go wrong with your prostate. One is prostatitis, which is a chronic inflammation of your prostate. And that obviously very rarely needs to be treated with antibiotics, but sometimes does need to be treated with antibiotics if you've had a tender swollen prostate on exam. And the enlarged prostate is due to benign prostatic hyperplasia, which is an outgrowth, which is also an inflammatory process. But it's going to take a while for you to resolve that because you developed it over years. And so seems like you've been carnivore for 2 months. let's see where you're at 6 months, where you're at 2 years. But I would suspect you're going to find that your problem doesn't get any worse. And the way we know it's not getting worse is you're not increasing the number of times you have to get up during the middle of the night, which is a sign that your prostate is growing with that benign prostatic hyperplasia. And I do recommend men have an annual prostate exam with the finger, not by the blood. And I gave a whole hour talk on why you shouldn't rely on the blood test to follow your prostate health. So it's something that you missed out if you weren't part of SBG.
So come join us.
I'll drop the link. Thank you for that. Yeah, no, a lot of people don't know about the steak and butter kink, so it's always open for you guys to join if you want. Okay. Okay, Lively Linus says, I've been carnivore since 2021, but after I moved in with my boyfriend, I added in coffee and energy drinks, and this issue has been getting worse and worse since I did that. What issue? I think this may be a follow-up.
Yeah, she gave an earlier question.
Trying
to remember which one it was. So
Me
she's
too.
like the first or second one, so she'd be at the top of the starred.
Right.
Yeah, they're unstarred now, but I'm going. Hold on.
Well, energy drinks are definitely really super bad. But
Yeah. Well, while Todd does that, just to refresh, let's do Keith. I think we did this, so let's keep going. Adam, is it okay to eat cod livers multiple times a week?
Sure.
God.
Yeah, absolutely.
I eat a can every morning when I'm eating.
Do you? That much? Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Nice.
Cod liver is great for you.
I have MS symptoms, but doctor says I don't have it. What do I do next? Oh, so like as in the doctor says he didn't diagnose him as having MS?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just found it and I remembered it was the stomach acid question, but we'll get back to that.
Oh, that was the stomach acid in the fat.
Yeah.
Couldn't digest the fat.
Yeah.
Well, for MS symptoms, that I can help you with this. So that to me, what to do next would be if you have the symptoms and your doctor's not saying that you have the symptoms, which is fine. Just try carnivore. See if you have the symptoms. So use the symptoms as your guide. That's what I did. I mean, I used all of my bad symptoms instead of making it like, woe is me. I'm like, hey, this is what I need to watch for. Is it getting better? How much better is it getting? What's going on? Is it getting worse? And that's how I adjusted with my diet.
But wouldn't a second opinion be good too? I mean, another doctor?
Oh, I didn't think about that. Of course. You're right.
Dr. Phil?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things that kind of mimic MS, and it's too numerous to list right here. But I always tell people if they have symptoms that they're worried about, they need to find a doctor who, if they tell you what it isn't, stick with them until they tell you what it is. And if you're concerned that you're high risk for any central nervous system disease, like MS, Parkinsonism, whatever, recognize the fact that most Americans are not getting enough fat and cholesterol in their diet. And you need fat and cholesterol to build healthy neurons. And it's like a factory. Your brain's like a factory. And if you cut off the raw materials coming in, like if the train gets derailed and you can't get trying to make steel and you can't get the limestone and the coal and the iron ore in to your plant, then you're not going to be able to make the steel, right? And those things are called substrates. And fat and cholesterol are very, very important substrates for good brain health. And ever since, as we see, and I'll say Americans, no offense to a deck in the Netherlands because I don't know. But in the United States, we're seeing more and more mental health issues, memory issues, dementias, MS, Parkinsonism, seizure disorders, all kinds of central nervous system stuff, and anxiety. And I think the diet plays a big role in a lot of people because we just see so many people who get benefits from carnivore way of eating within months of starting. And so I would eat fatty meats. And if your doctor says it's not MS, say, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. What is it?
Yeah.
What do you think it is? Because
Good point.
it's hard. We can't diagnose you on this call, but be persistent. You know, your health is important, but good nutrition will help you function better.
Thank you, Dr. Phil.
For
Thanks,
sure.
Raymond.
So here was the original question.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she wants to increase stomach acid.
Yeah.
And saying that the coffee and energy drinks has been making it worse. I believe it.
Coffee for sure. Yeah.
And
for
energy
sure.
drink, that's most I think is worse.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're right.
So, any thoughts to help her with the stomach acid? We did talk about this in the beginning of the live stream because somebody else asked it too. And Todd, didn't you talk about the amino acids for it?
Amino acids, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we recommend that. What else? Adek, you said eating beef, red meat helps with stomach acid.
Yeah. I know it's going to be tough, but I would cut those out first, cut out the poison first. That's one of the most, I hope you can, coffee and energy drinks.
Definitely.
Yeah, coffee, even decaf coffee is really hard if you've got a stomach acid issue. And the energy drinks have a lot of caffeine in them. So, that's definitely something I would give yourself 30 days off and see if you don't get better.
Okay.
Perfect. Let's see here. Micah, I'm going to put this up. I don't see a comment from you, and I went back pretty far. So if you have a comment, definitely put it in there, and I'll grab it.
But thank you, Micah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're glad you're here.
Thank you so
Thank
very
you, and
much.
welcome to the live. Do ask a question. We would love to help. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Micah.
There we go. I'm going to keep looking.
Okay, so I'm 57, Keith says, and I've been lifting for years. My strength keeps increasing, but I am not losing weight. Is that a problem? Weight loss is my goal right now.
Okay. So
Let's
not
start
inches.
What? Say that again?
I would love to have, I hope you can change your mindset if that, and to make the weight not your goal, but your inches that goes off. If
Yeah. And not only that, strength increasing, muscle is going to weigh more. So with your strength increasing and you have a weight loss goal, that one's is it may not work like what you think. So like Adek says, I think looking at the inches on the waist or, taking pictures even. So even if inches don't go off, maybe the bloat goes off and all that good stuff. But I really don't like the scale. As a matter of fact, there is one tip you could do. You could stay off the scale. That's one great tip. That way, at least it promotes less anxiety, which less anxiety, less cortisol, the more chances of actually losing that weight that you want to lose.
Yeah.
Todd?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the scale anymore at all, to be honest with you, because especially every time I reprime and then go back to fasting, it just reiterates it to me because, like I said, I put on like 40 pounds, but what was crazy was in this last 4 or 5 weeks of priming, I was gaining weight and I was waking up leaner. Like I was like, oh, there's some muscle and some definition I didn't have 2 days ago. It's just the weirdest thing. I can't explain it to you until you watch it. But when there's something about that priming part when your body's just healing up, and especially if you're getting good sleep and you're getting out in the sun, you can watch yourself actually have composition changes like dramatically overnight. It's really weird. And that's happening as I'm gaining weight. So yeah, I just don't even care anymore.
I remember. Yeah, I love how you said that because of the weight scale. So I remembered my first time when I was tracking weight quite a bit on carnivore diet. And then, I'd wake up looking like, wow, I look so good, just like what Todd said. And then I'd weigh myself, and it was just a soul sucker. I just felt my soul just suck. Like, oh my God, I gained weight. What the hell? And I started believing the weight scale more than I did what I saw.
Mhm.
And that's when I felt, okay, there's something wrong here. I just cannot depend on that weight scale.
Can I tell I don't know if it's a funny story, but it's a nice comparison because I used to be vegan and underweight, and I was very light. So here there's a lot of winds where I live. So if I would walk to the shops, I'd be blown away. Actually, literally, I'd be holding onto a to a tree to balance myself. And now I am actually sometimes I'm even smaller than I used to be when I was vegan. But I'm heavy and I'm sturdy on my ground, and I don't get blown away actually anymore. So I'm a bit heavier, much heavier than before, but I don't look at the scale. And I'm just so happy that I can be able to walk to the shops.
That's awesome.
I'd love to chime in on that. So for sure, Keith, you really shouldn't focus on that number on the scale because, and just like Adek said, I have a vegan diet and vegan experience to compare to as well. And personal experience, I think, is the most powerful thing. You can listen to all the different podcasts with all of the best doctors and all of the most qualified speakers, but they will all end up having different opinions, different advice, different recommendations, different research even. You're never going to know what works for you until you try it yourself. And Dr. Phil looks like he's about to fall asleep.
No, I'm nodding. I'm nodding because I agree with you.
Oh, okay. I don't want to hold you because
I'm not about ready to fall asleep.
Okay, good. That's good. I'm glad to hear. So don't focus on the number. Focus on that strength increasing. That's amazing.
And I think this is where the photos are, again, very helpful. What's happened with your pant size, your waist, your body composition. Because we don't really know how long he's been carnivore. But so we have some unknowns here, but just stick with it. Your body, your strength is increasing. That is good. Because a normal 57-year-old would say their strength is decreasing.
I know, right? That's true.
That's a good point.
And always strength over skinny people.
Yeah, I mean, considering you've been lifting all these years and then you're noticing that strength increased all of a sudden after going carnivore, to me, that's a massive one.
Yeah, exactly. Love it.
There we go.
Micah.
Thank you, Micah. So he or she says, thanks for all you guys do. Please talk about priming and how it's improved your carnivore journeys. Ooh, well, we must start with Raymond.
That seems like a baited question. Really awesome question. Anyways, priming for me has really improved my journey. When I first started, the way I started is I was looking at all of these carnivore sites, and they're like, hey, one of the mistakes, a lot of everything that I was reading is like, you're under eating. And I was like, I am not making that mistake. And so that's what I did. I ate every single moment I could. And that's where priming got developed. But because, I also did that to like right about 700 other clients before I actually formulated the length of time that it would take for most people to get fully primed. And it's not bad, actually. Even now that we're training people, we notice that that's a good average, actually. So, now that we're in the thousands. But anyways, priming has been so beneficial for me. I do that once or twice a year. I go back to it often because I notice that I can deplete myself very easily, even on just doing normal carnivore without fasting, but definitely when I do a fasting cycle for sure. When I'm doing just carnivore and not paying attention to my food, I tend to undereat. It just happens because, it's so satiating no matter what. I mean, yes, I'm a 7-year carnivore, but it's still so satiating for me that that I tend to just eat lazily and go about my business because, other things are more important. And then I realize, well, why am I feeling a little weaker? What's going on? And I'm like, screw this. I'm just going prime. I start leaning out. I start looking better. I start feeling better. I start thinking better. And I'm like, okay, this is what I needed. Oh, and I start not wanting to eat anymore. So that's been my experience.
Amazing. Let's do Dr. Phil next.
Yeah, I wrote down a few months ago kind of my five reasons to prime. And I'm just going to read that off to you because I made it into a handout. So if you're new to carnivore, you prime to help your self-discovery of how your body recognizes hunger and satiety. Because a lot of people really don't know what true hunger and true satiety is. They're doing behavioral eating because of the way of the American diet. If they're struggling with fasting, it helps you nourish your body to restore missing nutrients you may be lacking. If you're a long-term carnivore, priming, you may find yourself stalled, and priming will help you reset your metabolism. If you're malnourished or underweight, priming helps you fill up your tank with nutrients that are found in beef, chicken, pork, and fish, and not in supplements. And it creates a carnivore foundation because when you're fully nourished, you can do cycles of feasting and fasting and better take on the stress of everyday life. So, and I was an undereater from 2016 till 2023, was carnivore for 3 months, went to Steak and Butter Gang because I wanted to get better results. Initially primed using Raymond's protocol, and it totally reset my metabolism, allowed me to totally reverse metabolic syndrome in my 4th month of carnivore, which means metabolically I'm much more healthy. And I, like Raymond, prime frequently. So I primed in May of this year again, after having primed in October last year. And right now, during the hurricane, I was going to do a different strategy, but I've basically had to fall into really heavy 2 meals a day and eat more while I'm doing cleanup for 2 hurricanes in a row in Florida. And the most interesting thing is I'm 67 years old, and I've not had the normal muscle aches and pains that I would have when I'm spending 5 hours a day cutting down limbs and stuffing lawn bags and carrying fallen branches out to the front of my house, which is about 200 feet. So it's like incredible. So just share my personal experience with it.
Amazing. Lindy, you go next.
Yeah, well, priming for me, that's what gave me the off switch with food. I find the meat is definitely very satiating. But prior to doing carnivore, I didn't have an off switch. I would eat and I'd be searching for the next meal. I was totally consumed by food 24/7, and that's how I reached 750, 800 pounds, whatever I was ever on the scale. So now I can't prime like everyone else. I do have the lap band, so there is a restriction. So my way of priming is to eat 5 bites every hour. And I just continue to do that for like 3 or 4 days, like a mini prime. And that just, fixes me up. It gives me that off switch, and then I no longer crave food. So priming is what helped me with cravings and just giving me that off switch that I never had before.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Adek?
For me, I think primal was more like a mental thing for me because I was so afraid of eating. I was just so afraid to listen to my hunger signals, and especially joining the gang and just getting permission to eat. That's what's priming for me. Helped me overcome that fear of eating, and just finally listening to my body and not ignoring the hunger signal, because I think Raymond and I talked about this lately, that the hunger that we were brought up to think that hunger is a good feeling, that's the way to lose weight. But now I see hunger is, well, I need to eat, and that has changed with priming for sure. I just was a mental battle that I was able to just let go with priming. Yes.
Yeah. I recognize we've got some newbies here in the live stream. Welcome, welcome. Getting a bit impatient, saying, "What is priming?" Define. Yeah. So Raymond is right here. He is the master creator of priming and his whole protocol. What is it?
All right, it's simple, and I like the simple process. Okay, priming is eating 3 meals a day plus snacks for the first week. And this kicker is, if you're having coffee or tea, then that needs to be as a dessert. Breakfast is the most important part of priming. You need to start, and all day long you shouldn't feel hunger. That's the ideal. What's going to happen a few days later is that hunger will open up if it hasn't. And we are expecting that to do that, but that doesn't happen all the time. But you push it until that hunger opens up and you're all of a sudden hungry in the morning, meanwhile, versus sometimes you haven't been. So there's a lot more details that I like to discuss. The second week is going down to 3 meals, and I'm just going to rapid fire it. It's feeling hunger, and that's the point you feel hunger. On the last week, you're doing a series of 23 while you prime, whether you're worthy of going on to the fasting portion. So that's, so if you want to hear more, join us, but to go through. And you're really learning your satiety at that time, what is actually to be nourished, and what.
Love it. Yes. Todd, how has priming changed your journey?
Yeah, well, it was a hard sell, because it's hard to tell a guy that was 700 pounds that he was malnourished, not eating enough. So, priming red pilled me along with carnivore, basically, because everything that I thought was up was down, and everything that I thought was down was up after. So how priming has changed my carnivore and improved my carnivore journey has been, all right, but it's asking for cigarettes, pizza, and Coca-Cola right now. So I don't really think I should listen to that. The priming and the healing, I'm free, and so now you actually can. Finally, tanks, and then I go, and it's time to prime, and full of anxiety and depression about it, and then look down, and I'm getting leaner, I'm getting stronger, my body's getting healthier no matter what the scale says. And so priming is just freedom. Priming's health, freedom, and healing, so that you can just get off this stupid, live your life, and heal.
Hey, Todd, we got a problem on the live stream.
What's that?
Yeah.
No one's hearing us. Yeah. That's what they're saying.
Well, so I'm seeing tons of comments.
Yeah, it's still going, but we're seeing a lot of people frozen.
Into fiber optic. So
okay.
A little bit of lag, and you guys can hear me and see me, right?
No, you sound great. That's the thing.
Here's the thing. Let's all listen. Let's all listen here. So the update is, I think us here in this live stream room are not. So has this ever happened before, Todd and Lindy?
So it's a
Right.
YouTube. It's a YouTube issue.
Should end it.
Well, not necessarily. Let's see. What can we do?
That there's a little bit of a light.
Todd,
I'm trying to.
who is there like a single host of this live stream right now?
No, it doesn't work that way. However, I do think
If we restart the live, that's not ideal because then we have to restart
right.
the live chat and the playback.
Maybe
We could end it.
yeah. I mean, dang it.
Mm-hmm.
I know
All right,
that's
here. Let's try this. I'm gonna just.
What can we do?
Why don't we?
Yes. Oh, are we testing something?
Yeah. I was
Is
just-
it good now, guys?
I
Is
thought
it better?
It's good
Yeah.
now.
It's
It's good
good.
now. Clearing
Come
up.
back. It's
Very-
working.
Very
Oh,
trying.
really?
Okay.
Whoa! I think we learned something new. Good job, Todd.
Cool. That worked.
So
Amazing.
it was a memory buffer.
Yeah. So
Todd.
okay. Perfect. All right, we're back. Sorry. I forget where we are, but priming.
You were talking about priming.
Yes, you're
Well,
priming.
here's the thing. So I was keeping an eye on the chat, and apparently this little choppy issue started when Raymond began defining priming, which must be so frustrating for the live streamers. Just when he starts defining, that happened.
It's kind of funny, actually.
Okay,
So
they
that-
said priming. Raymond's got to go again.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Let's
All
do
right.
it again.
All right. And can you hear me clearly? Yes, you guys can hear me. Okay, just making sure. Okay, so priming is a process with carnivore foods, trying to get all of your foods, your carnivore foods, in as much as you can. Now, what it is you're starting off with 3 meals a day, comfortably stuffed. And what you're doing, if you have coffee or tea or anything off, you're going to have a meal first before you have any of those. Breakfast is the most important. So when you first wake up, have breakfast, then have your coffee. That part is very important. For the first week, you're allowed a snack. On the second week, you go down to just 3 meals with no snacks. On the third week, you're doing 2 meals in a certain sequence with no snacks. And you're at that period of time, you're still eating until comfortably stuffed, but you are seeing what hunger intensity is at. If you're not that hungry, that's a good sign. If you're hungry and you're feeling it, that's okay. But if you're ravenous, then you need to go back to the 3 MADs. So it's got like buffers in between. Okay, now how do we test priming? How do we test we're fully primed? That's when we go into 23-hour fast. We go into a 23-hour fast, water only. And if we do that fine, we go in a rest period of 2 MADs for 3 days. And then we try 2 23-hour water only fast. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we doing here? I just got confused.
She's letting you talk because she pulled this. She's just letting you talk.
Oh, okay. Well, and that would be finally what I consider. If you pass that, then you're ready for level 2, which goes into fasting portion of it. And we stair step every fast all the way up for 3 months to let you test every portion of the fast.
Yeah. So, and I'll just share my own experience with priming. Great. I'm glad you guys heard that, or most of you.
Hope.
I do have a video with Raymond pre-recorded, no technical difficulties. If you want a reliable source of info on priming, it's on my posted videos tab, and it's labeled the weight loss hack that every carnivore needs to know. I think it was like the like second or third video now. I don't know. But if somebody wants to link it in the live chat, feel free to. We sit down, Raymond and I, and talk about priming. But priming is basically for anyone and everyone who is willing to flirt with the lines of eating enough. And a lot of people don't know that they're under eating. So that's just that alone is worth trying priming. If you don't even know if you're eating enough or if you are maybe slightly under eating, priming will help you figure it out. There are two camps that I like to say priming really helps is the extremely undernourished or the extremely chronically stressed people who have a lot to heal, who have calorie restricted for long periods of time, who have maybe killed themselves in the gym for long periods of time, who maybe lost someone in the family and have been grieving, so maybe didn't eat very well, who used to be vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, any type of stress that you put your body under. Priming is a reset. Priming is a beautiful nourishment, almost like a retreat for your body to just rest. Okay. And then the other camp, oh, not hearing us? Okay, it says audio and video has ceased. What does that mean? Oh, Danny.
Maybe I need to go back.
Let me know, guys. Can you guys hear? Sorry about this. No audio problem here. Okay, yeah. For those who have audio problems, it seems like you just need to refresh and come back. And then the other camp that priming is excellent for is just chronic undereaters. For example, Dr. Phil keeps saying that he was a chronic undereater and priming helped him eat enough. Did you want to talk about that a little bit?
No, I just I don't. 2016, I had done a protein sparing modified fast of about 500 to 700 calories for 6 weeks. Dropped a ton of weight that I gained after a heart infection. And what I found was when I tried to go back to eating normally, I did what we called today toddler calories. I was gaining weight of about a pound a month on 1,500 calories a day at 6 foot. And solution was not cutting calories. I needed to reset my metabolism. So priming helped me do that.
Guys are interested in priming, you can simply do it at home for free just by eating 3 meals a day every day for a period of time. Okay. And I'm going to bring on Raymond to the stage here. And then maybe let's try removing Phil. Okay. Let's say they want hand holding for priming. Where can they do that?
Yes, that's a great question. So we teach priming every Monday on the Steak and Butter Gang, and we have a ton of replays on there for you guys to watch. So this challenge that Bella has created, I love teaching there. And priming is kind of there's so many questions and so many nuances to learning ourselves that that I get to be asked these questions and kind of help answer and guide people. Hey, what's hunger really like? What's fully nourished really like? All of these nuances. What's it feel like? What's it feel like to stuff yourself, or I would say comfortably stuff yourself for a whole week at a time? What's that feel like in the end? What's it feel like to have what we call food freedom, where we're just like not wanting any type of food, no carbs, not even meat sometimes. We just would beg to fast at times. And when we go through this, what I like to call nourished fasting, it's amazing. It's not a fast where you're fasting out of like the religious fast where you fast out of torment and trying to feel like you're just looking at the clock and you're white knuckling it. It's not that type. It's just pleasant. You're enjoying the time period that you have, and you have a lot more time on your hands. But that's when we get to the fasting point. Some people don't choose to go to that, but they will prime just to make sure that they're getting enough of the nourishment in. Fasting is not for everybody, but there are some people that will also try the fasting portion, and all of that is part of the Chisel Master Course. And we teach that also part of the 30-day challenge. So you're getting kind of quite a bit. So I teach 2 classes out of that. So come over and see if it's for you. What I recommend is coming in, checking out a few weeks of this or a month. And if you like it, just stick around and watch the replays. So that's my say. Bella?
Thank you, Raymond, for that. Hopefully that was helpful for you all. SBG Meet, as in fatty meat, up.com. You can just type that into your URL and you'll be able to join any of our monthly challenges if you would like. Do you have to? You don't. You can just eat 3 meals a day starting now for free. But Raymond does have calendars and schedules, guides, weekly classes that you guys can join. And also the community is amazing. I love all of the members in there. A lot of them are watching now. It's just a wonderful family to be a part of. I've also linked it down below in the description box. Awesome.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
Yeah, I want to say, okay, as great as the program that, I teach is for a lot of folks, one of the biggest things that I like about Bella is the community. Okay, it's the community of seeing all of these like-minded folks cheering each other on and feeling like we have a family here. In my real life, I don't have any carnivores in real life, so it's really nice to connect with other carnivores, having other like minds, and that really, really helps me to have a sense that I belong. I'm not doing something weird. I'm not doing something crazy. I feel like, hey guys, you got my back, I got yours, and it's like we're this rare wolf pack out there. But technology has given us the ability where we can actually meet with each other and talk to each other. So to me, that's the grand part of it. Yes, we get to learn more. We get to learn more about ourselves, learn more about carnivore, learn more about other experienced carnivores. And also we get to the point where we want to teach others. This is what community is about. So I want to say, if you're really wanting a community, and that's the reason, the lesson is just kind of like ice, I don't want to say icing, but gravy, butter on the steak kind of thing.
Oh, I love that. So I see a lot of comments in the live chat that I really want to feature. I feel like I get swept away by all of these questions in the live stream, but really my favorite part of these live streams is interacting with you guys. My family, my community members. So let me just feature some. Nikki, hi, good to see you. She's in the Steak and Butter gang. She's almost all meetings. She is there. Okay, with camera on, contributing in the chat, helping out. We love you so much, Nikki. She is a big part of that community. My food addiction says, yes, I need community and support. I click the link. We cannot wait to welcome you in, my food addiction. Hop on any of the calls. We have calls almost every single day. Meet the team, the members. So excited to have you in. Shauna wants to know, how do I prep to start the next challenge? You really don't have to prep at all. You just sign up, join our kickoff day, and our next kickoff day will be November 4th, I believe, start of the month. And we have kickoff days at the start of every single challenge month. Raymond, do you think Shauna needs to prep?
Yeah. So if you wanted to prep, you don't need to just start off the challenge with prime. Just listen. That's it. We also have times for like NSV. We have Chew to Fat where you just hear other people's story. Just listen in. I think Dr. Phil even took several months of watching the replay before he even decided to jump in. So, there are people that just, hey, let me study everything first. And it's not a bad idea to do that. So do it at your own pace. You know yourself best.
And by the way, Bella, I thought we decided on November 2nd.
Thank you. I need to confirm with the team, but it's probably November 2nd. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just making sure.
Yeah. We're still figuring out the kickoff day. But what else? Let's see. You all are awesome. That's so sweet. Thank you. Oh no, Sherry. I was hated on last night by a carnivore community because my family is not carnivore. So this is where I really think we can all do better as members of this carnivore community. Let's just stop shaming altogether. Who cares if a carnivore's family member is not carnivore yet? And who cares if they're never carnivore? Like, what actually matters is that we're spreading this message together as a community. There are so many people who need this diet because it is the only answer for them to heal, or the only way that they can reverse their autoimmune conditions, or feel better, or not feel depressed and anxiety all the time, or get off medication. So instead of focusing so much energy on hating our own members in this community, let's all just do better and be supportive and work hard together to spread the word. Like, do we all agree here, or do we think that shaming because your family's not carnivore is the right thing to do?
I'm shocked, actually. And not only that, I want to say judgment and shame and all of this thing that's for the old world, and I believe, as carnivores, we don't need any of that. We're trying to create our little heaven here with us carnivores. So we love supporting you. And we're talking about in any way possible. So you could be ketovore, you could be struggling, you could be falling off the wagon. We're here for you. It doesn't matter. You could just say, I'm just, wanting to stay sad and just add a little extra meat. We're still here for you. And that's the idea. You're going to have support no matter what. We're supporting you as human beings. And we feel like that really is going to be the most important thing. Yeah, I want to.
Yeah. Let me read this. Oh,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Adek. You go first.
Add to, because what I don't like about it is that this is not our identity. It's just the way we eat.
Yeah.
So so that's all I wanted to say. Actually, that's why I get really angry, because just because I say I'm carnivore, it doesn't mean that I am that person. I'm still Adek who eats meat.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think so. I've seen some carnivores maybe treat carnivore as absolutely their whole entire identity.
Yeah.
And there are other carnivores who are so very hardcore, and they try to impose their rules, their beliefs, this is the right way to do it on other carnivores. You don't have to participate. I certainly don't, unless I want to make a video to try to encourage people to improve. But
Right.
Sherry, thank you for the super chat. She basically says, I'm hated on because my hubby is not carnivore from other carnivores. How do you respond to that, Bella? Okay. So are you saying that you're getting hate because you are carnivore, but your hubby is not carnivore? If that is the case, you don't have to respond. That's my best advice. Just don't respond. Don't let those types of negative comments, negative energy get to you, right? It's really up to your reaction. Are you going to let that ruin your day, make you feel sad, make you feel shamed? Because that's 100% in your control. In fact, I learned this from Adek and Raymond recently, because they've been reading what have you guys been reading? The four agreements. And do you want to maybe, because I remember when we hung out that day, you gave me a little summary of what you guys have been reading and discussing. And we were talking about how to deal with maybe naysayers, not really on social media, because at this point, for me personally, naysayer comments, I get excited because it's oh, carnivore diet's still relevant. That's for me a really good sign. But I'm talking about naysayers in our personal lives. For example, maybe a best friend is starting to hate on you, or your own mother is starting to doubt you or criticize you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is your advice when it comes to dealing with naysayers based on what you're reading?
First of all, not to take anything personally. That's the biggest part. I love the four agreements. So first of all, the four agreements, just for those who are not in the know, is be impeccable in your word. Don't take anything personally.
and don't make any assumptions. And fourth, do your best. So when naysayers will come about, and let's say I do take it personally, automatically the reason I'm taking it personally, it's obviously something with me. And then I'm going to make assumptions automatically right off the bat. So does this help me or hurt me? Of course, it hurts me. And the idea of being impeccable with my word is I'm not trying to hurt myself. In other words, I don't want to be in a bad mood because this person spewed poison on me, right? I'm going to try to make myself where I have a shield where it's like, oh, go ahead. I think there's a saying, like a little children rhymes. I am rubber, you are glue. Whatever you say to me bounces back at you, kind of thing. And that's kind of the same idea. We are not going to take it personal, and whatever it is, that's on your court. I'm not going to take it. So that's how we look at it. Adek?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I say, because the thing is that usually naysayers or haters is they say something because it's something that hurts them. So it has absolutely nothing to do with you. They're going through something. I'm assuming now this is not good, but yeah, usually it's something that's going on with them, and they're just how do you say that? They provoke it on you.
Projecting. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, hi. Yes, I think we're good. Yeah, I'll wrap up soon. Yeah. So I am at home, and my siblings want to do a little family night. So
can I just ask you real quick, Bella, because about for the late, what's her name? Sorry, I didn't look, but she's asked. Your husband wasn't carnivore in the beginning. Did you get a lot of haters because of that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We should do a whole live stream just talking about this if you guys want. So I get hate comments, naysayer whatever you want to call it, every single day. And whenever I do openly share about what my husband is eating, for example, like even if I show a photo of him eating a carnivore meal with a side of guacamole or salsa, right? Oh my gosh, the carnivore community is just going crazy. They're like, how dare you let your husband eat those things? Because he's his own person and he can eat whatever he wants. So if anyone is trying to, Sherry, love you very much, control your husband's diet, that's quite a reach, don't you think? You don't have to let them get to you. And certainly your husband does not have to listen to strangers' advice and recommendations. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's enough for the Sherry's comment. But I feel like we could talk about this all day, And also, I do want to say that I don't support shaming in any of my communities. So whether it be the YouTube live stream community, in the live chat, in the Steak and Butter gang, in the Zoom calls, under the comments on my YouTube channels, although that's a bit harder to control. If you guys see shaming or bullying in the live chat, please let me know. Put attention on it so that we can kick the person out, because I really cherish these live communities that we're building every single week by doing these live streams. And I do want to keep it a very safe and open place where shaming is absolutely not allowed. Love you guys. Let's keep going. Oh, Todd, do you mind if I bring you up?
For sure.
Great. Is this the next question that we're doing? Because I saw a bunch of questions go up and I was confused.
Yeah, this is the next super chat. And what I did was I just was making sure you saw it because there was a glitch. And so with the internet connection they were having. And so she had posted another one wanting to get to this one. So I just wanted to make sure that we got it.
Yeah, let's do this. Thank you, Mist. Started BBBE, beef, butter, bacon, eggs, carnivore on October 1st. I must have a sweet break of fresh blueberries every 2 to 3 days. Will this interfere with my metabolism? Switch over. Thank you. And then let me just see the other one.
Yeah, it was just wanting to get to this one was all.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Todd, what do you think? You go first.
I don't think it'll interfere that much. Depends on how many of them you're having. If you're eating a bunch, then yeah, I think it will. But it's not helping you at all. And I definitely found out. I did I don't know about 2 years of keto, and the reason why I'm very strict carnivore and not keto anymore is because those things actually kept me from getting much more fat adapted, and also kept me craving and binging on, sugary sweet things. Like my cravings for sweet foods and carbohydrates did not go away until I got rid of all of them for about 5.5 weeks, and essentially ate carnivore food kind of primed. It wasn't really priming, but at the time I was just eating my way through the cravings, and that was the only thing that actually got me free. So if you can help it, because basically the way you said this, you said I must have a sweet break for fresh blueberries every 2 to 3 days. If that's the only way that you can stay on carnivore, then I would say do it. But anytime I hear somebody say I couldn't give that up, that's a surefire tell that you have an addiction, and you're not eating for hunger signals, you're eating for dopamine signals. So that's why I as soon as I feel like there's something I can't give up, that's the first thing I know I have to give up.
Yeah, right. And she says that's what I was experiencing, grumpiness, until I get a blueberry.
Yeah, you kind of that's a little bit of the keto flu, and sure, which makes sense because you said every 2 to 3 days, which is about how long it takes for your glucose stores to be depleted in your muscle and in your liver, and then all of a sudden you are truly making yourself be fat adapt, and so you're getting a little glucose fix to ease the pain. Now, I don't think that that's a huge deal depending on how much you're eating, but you would benefit yourself, instead of eating those blueberries, in my opinion, to eat a big meal of ribeye or bacon and eggs and eat through those cravings, and then just let that go, and you'll find yourself, you're not going to want it, but you do it anyways until you kind of get stuffed, and it kind of satiates you, quells your appetite, and then you'll find yourself finally being free from those cravings after a while. It takes some time. It took me 5.5 weeks to do that. So
that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, Mist, keep us posted on that.
For sure. He just was saying hi. I wanted to say thank you.
Oh, thank you, Ricky.
I think we caught up with that, and I'll give a little update. So I think what happened there was, while we're doing this live stream, for whatever reason, YouTube decided to give me a community guideline strike, and they banned my channel from going live for 2 weeks. So that's why I think this all happened, because they locked me down from going live. So I don't know. Because YouTube, they said it was something that I said, they said was a risk to the public and the medical system. So
oh no.
Yeah.
What? So they can even do that in real time while they
did it in real
monitoring
time.
You going live.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to be careful, Todd. You're getting on too many radars.
Apparently, which that's fine. I'm just going to go to Rumble, and they can. Well, I won't say it on in front of everybody, but that's fine. Or I had 6,000. Whatever. I'll be back in 2 weeks, but I'm just gonna. That is just like, yeah, I'm gonna put more time on Rumble instead of YouTube because they're chicken shit. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Is it because you had multiple strikes, or was it just today?
This is my first guideline. I got a warning one time that wasn't a strike. Now this is my first hard strike. I think you get 3 before they ban your account, but they gave me a hard strike, which means I can't go live for 2 weeks. So I'll just do it on my X and my Rumble. But yeah, so anyhow, that's what happened. I just realized that because I was looking at my viewer count and I had 40, and then all of a sudden it was nothing. And Tim asked me if I was going to go live again. I'm like, why am I not live? And then I looked at YouTube Studio and they sent me a little notice. I appealed it. We'll see what happens. But
okay, well, keep us posted. Well, look, we can still enjoy Todd's knowledge here on these live streams on these Friday times, right? You'll still show up.
For sure, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, they'll still be live on your channel.
On all your guys'.
Yeah. So you're still going to be, well, unless they strike us all.
Right. I don't think they will.
I hope not.
No, they're coming after me, but that's fine. It's funny. I think it's the hat.
Must be. Yes.
But yeah, I'm just giving you update, so we
Okay,
shouldn't
well,
have
thanks
that
for that.
problem next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Farm but
guys,
done to us.
even more reason to go support Todd, not just on YouTube. So I'll make sure to pull Todd's Rumble link and I'll put in the description box. If you're watching the playback, who knows, it might happen to all of us. So ugh.
For sure. Well,
Yeah.
well, I mean, all that's happening, I mean, this is a good sign. It makes me happy when they ban me on stuff, like quite literally, because that means that carnivore's making a difference, right?
Yeah.
It's actually scaring people that are making people sick and hurting people. So this is just death throes as far as I'm concerned of the big food and big pharma. So have their fun, but we're all that's going to happen is the market's going to speak, and we're going to go find a platform that'll let us tell the truth and let people get healthy. So screw them.
Yeah.
That's my.
Well, we will keep spreading the truth by doing whatever we can do. And look, if you guys want a community, we do need to wrap up now. So let me just put it in the chat one more time and verbally say it. If you're looking for a community, join us in the Steak and Butter Gang. We're all over there in the meetings. And it is in the chat box there. Perfect. Anything else, team? Any final thoughts?
Well, one of the things I can end with is to let folks know that, yes, they could ban Todd, for example. They can ban me. They can ban Bella. But you know what? We're just going to keep creating more and more of us carnivores out there. And then you guys are just going to have to take the lead and then make up your own YouTube videos. And we all are going to spread that word. Eventually, no one can quiet us down. We're just going to be like a hydra. They cut off one head, we're going to grow 10. So I want to encourage everyone to be just that powerful and that forceful about carnivore, and just keep spreading that message in a gentle form, though, not in your face kind of thing. It's more like showing it because we feel so good. People are going to ask us, what are you doing different?
Yeah.
For sure. And if you see a carnivore channel come up named Amigo Montoya with this handsome face, I don't know why.
That's it.
Maybe it's the mask carnivore.
Yeah, the mask carnivore. You could always go there. I like that. That's right.
Love it. Love you, Charlie. That's CC Charlie.
Oh, hi, Charlie.
Oh, cool, Charlie. Thank you. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we love
Yay.
you guys.
All right. Thank you, everyone,
Awesome,
for
guys.
Oh,
We will see you
everyone.
next week. Come
We
back.
will.
Okay,
And,
every Friday.
check out the link in the description for Hack
Open.
Your Health. Hack
Oh
Your
yes,
Health.
Hack Your
Yeah.
Health.
Hack
If
Your
you wanna
Health,
hang out with us
okay.
in person.
Yes.
Steak and Butter Gang. Everybody's socials down below. Love you guys.
Yes.
Have a beautiful
Love
night.
y'all. See you next time.
Thank-